Listen to me. I carry that kind of love in my heart that you would never find. See, niggas scared of they demons, I make friends with mines. I might have been the truth, but I never lied. I need something to feel alive when I'm dead inside. All my personal issues I'm learning to set aside. Cause I planted the seed and niggas came with pesticides. Give y'all my testimony, but never would testify. We'll buy lunch for the reaper to see who next to. Bitch, I've been cold since the snotty nose. Since I was drinking tap water out the water hose. Since I was stealing shit from Trey cause mom ain't buy me clothes. Since I was robbing people's houses and got honor roll. Shit, I was 9 when I made the decision. I'ma go platinum like FUBU. That's when I learned the same ones who love you or try to use you. Everybody trying to win so nobody cry when they lose you. We had nothing in the crib we could eat but some ramen noodles.
Keep it together. What is up, you two? It's your boy Binary, back at you with another live pop-up video. Hey, listen. Now, you know when content creators start off with, I ain't gonna be long. That means that shit probably will be long. But I do have an engagement today that I have to get to. You know, being so heavily involved in the community that I am, I do have to get out and make some guest appearances at some places. But you know, I could give you like, let's see, 2 good hours. Possibly 3 if I stretch it. But how are y'all doing? How is the Umar sector? How is the beef sector? How is the black sector? How is the Mo 3 sector? How is everybody doing? All I know is I witnessed Lady Snoop body bag Carrie in. I mean, you would think that Carrie Ann would have learned her lesson from thinking that she can go over to the beef sector. Now, before I jump into all that, let me just say this. Lady Snoop does not claim beef sector. I don't even think the beef sector claims her like that. But Lady Snoop, in my mind, is beef sector. I don't care what nobody says. She's over there a lot. I mean, when I first went over to the beef sector, Ness was beefing with Snoop, and it was all beef sector talk. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The thing about the beef sector that I like is initially, when you are a new content creator, there is not a bias when you're entering into that space. Meaning this, you have an opportunity to truly talk your shit. You have an opportunity to truly get your points across. You have an opportunity to truly put your personality or YouTube persona on display. The beef sector will take those things. They will measure it how they feel fit. And whoever rocks with you, rocks with you. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. That's just the way the mother effing cookie crumbles. And that's why I like the beef sector a lot. It's because it does not matter what sector you have came from and who you thought you were within that sector and all the biases and all the people that have your back no matter what. That's one thing about my sector that I just can't stand. You can be dead wrong, dead to right. Like, and everybody and their grandmama knows it, but if they like you, shit don't matter. The shit don't matter. It does not matter. The beef sector is not quite like that. That's one thing that I love. I love that shit because the beef sector was like pretty much putting a magnifying glass on my sector. No. The beef sector put a spotlight on my sector and you saw the cockroaches flee. God damn. You could no longer hide underneath biases anymore. Because when your delusional, dumbfounded ass opinions get put to true public scrutiny and you see you truly ain't standing on shit, you have to scatter. You have to regroup. Something has to give. So Carrie thought that the B sector, for whatever reason, was the Umar sector on steroids. She thought she was going to carry her ass on over there, get accepted for no good reason, just based off of she's black, and I guess she can speak well, sort of. I guess, I don't know. So that's what she thought. Carrie carried her ass on over to the B sector, got body bagged multiple times. Multiple times she got body bagged. It was sad to watch. It was sad to watch. But this is why it was sad to watch, right? Because the B sector is so fair in their analyses, right? When she went over there, they all gave her a chance. They were like, oh, okay, who is this? Oh, Miss Thangs. That's a cool name, Miss Thangs. Let's see what Miss Thangs is about. Ness gave her a chance. Everybody was giving her a chance. I just did what I typically do. I just waited because I knew Carrie would eventually put her foot in her mouth like she always does. That girl cannot be loyal to nobody. She can't even be loyal to her students. Former students. Remember, she don't give a F about them kids. She don't give a F about them kids. That came out of her mouth. And when that came out of her mouth, I knew she couldn't be loyal to nobody. Photon DNA knows that Carrie can't be loyal to nobody. That's why I had Carrie admit today on Pills' panel that all she does is give him money and he has never once returned the favor. He has never once returned the favor. This is insane. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I want to talk about ZX and his quote-unquote guest appearances. Good old Grandpa Joe. I don't know what it is about Grandpa Joe that makes him think that he's still tough. You know them old people that are just straight up delusional that could probably fight back in the day. They probably really gave it up back in the day. I'm not saying Grandpa Joe could fight back, and I have no idea. But that's what he reminds me of. Like one of them old heads that, you know, walking down the street like, yeah, I still kick your ass, I still kick your ass. And you just got to laugh at him. Like, bro, you're on a breathing machine. I still kick your ass. I still kick your ass. Negro, all I got to do is remove the plug. Oh man, give him an inhaler. Give the man an inhaler. Remove the plug. Once I plug this shit back in, I'm kicking your ass. What is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? I can already picture it. If his family cares enough about him and he actually gets to go to like the old folks home where people take care of him before he kicks the bucket, he gonna be arguing with the staff. This Negro gonna be arguing. He gonna be arguing. I said I want yogurt. I don't want none in motherfucking applesauce. You can't have yogurt, Grandpa Joe. Your dietary restrictions. Fuck my dietary restrictions, bitch. we can only we can only give you applesauce. Like, oh, that applesauce. Like, I could picture it. I could picture it. Went to one of his lives that I think he just did, and you know how he does. He tries to get in his bag and try to do all this black power stuff. You know what I'm saying? He tries to get in his bag, black power this, black power that. But it's so quick to try to destroy the black community. And when I say black community, hopefully you guys don't think that I'm talking about his community outside of his neighborhood. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the B sector community, which is primarily and predominantly a black space. And in my mind, the B sector is a community of a shit ton of people. The black sector is a space with a lot of people. Now, his disdain and disgust for homosexuals is appalling to me. That is one reason I can't stand Grandpa Joe. Because he's extremely hypocritical. He's extremely hypocritical. This is a person that will talk down on somebody's sexual orientation or preference, but will stick his own fingers in his booty. Now, that would be funny if I was joking. But you guys know this shit is the truth. We know that Grandpa Joe barely has energy. If you guys seen Willy Wonka and you know Grandpa Joe, if y'all seen Willy Wonka and you know Grandpa Joe, remember when they were eating water soup and Grandpa Joe was like all slow getting out of the bed and walking around all slow. But then he got this resurgence of energy when Charlie got the golden ticket. Explain to me how Grandpa Joe got this resurgence of energy when he was trying his hardest to make fun of homosexuals and make fun of people actually desiring him, quote unquote. This is nasty, but that's what he thought. And then he lifted his leg in the air. All of a sudden, he had energy. He had energy to hike his leg in the air and handle business on himself. What did ZX do to you, Binary? What did he actually do to you? He really didn't do anything to me. But it is his hatred for me that makes it up and stuck. ZX, Grandpa Joe, he is in the camp of a handful of people that I got to witness on these YouTube streets that have a hatred for me because I'm successful in life. T-Free, stop. I'm telling you. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to that. Let me not be an asshole. I'm gonna be going live in the summer, so I gotta make sure I say what's up to people that are here, so I could continue, so you guys could continue to support me. Chakra King, what up? Shakim Ra, Shakim, man. That's the homie right there. And I'm not saying in a Kip way. And Kip, that wasn't a shot at you. It was just funny. What up, Jer? What up, Jer? Crafty. Ah, shit. Look, Crafty, I don't know. The reason I like Crafty so much is because Crafty is not biased. When Crafty thinks I'm fucking up, Crafty will let me know. When Crafty thinks any content creator's fucking up, Crafty will let them know. That's one thing I do love about Crafty. Unadulterated, what's good, big dog? Good to see you. Miss Info is here. Miss Petty Ray, one of my faves, is here. T-Pre, come on now. Oh, damn, thank you, T-Pre. And I can't believe, let me just say this, T-Pre. Thank you for sharing the live. Let me just say this. I can't believe you and I were on the panel together and we were actually cordial with one another. And we were cordial with one another, although we had opposing views. That's growth. I think that's growth. Damn, that's growth right there. All right, Brixton's here talking shit about me, but you steal my mod. You see, I don't be. Brixton is here. That's one of my homies right there. Josephine, what's good? Josephine, I hate that you and Stargate be beefing or whatever because you're one of my faves. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. What up, the sect? Good to see you. 509. Oh, game time. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it the Final Four tonight? Damn. Ghost is here. Ghost and I had a really good back and forth yesterday on Photon's joint. That was pretty cool. That was fun. All right, T-Pre. Appreciate you, superstar. YM is in the building. Good to see you, YM. Good to see you. Hammer Time Funk. Okay, Hammer Time Funk. I know Grandpa Joe is the homie for you. And I know why Grandpa Joe, let me be respectful. I know why ZX is your quote-unquote homie. Because Hammer Time Funk, you really do want to build up the community. You really do want positive vibes to go out. So you gravitate towards the side of Grandpa Joe that gives forth the illusion that he is for that. The dude is not really out in the community. Myself, though, I'm really out in the community. I can admit, Hammer Time Funk, that on YouTube, I'm a mess, right? Because I'm a troll, I'm a mess. Like, I almost lost my job because of YouTube, but then I changed my ways. I had to change my ways. I had to go through much scrutiny. I had to go through people talking shit about me because I changed my ways. But I'm not that arrogant to think that I could continue to do the things that I was doing and keep my job, unlike some people, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But I know why you think Grandpa Joe is kind of cool, but I'm just letting you know that's a facade in my mind. In my mind, that's all. All right. I know it's shocking, that title. Have y'all seen Brianna? Wait, hold on. No, ZX kind of talk like this. I can't do it. But I'm going to keep making fun of him. I think I said what's up to Germ. I think that spot him right there. He really wants to be seen as a wise elder. Lady Snoop, sheesh. Lady Snoop, damn. Damn, Snoop. That was a massacre. It was a massacre. Stefan's still here. I'm surprised Stefan's still here. Good to see you, Stefan. I can't believe you're still here. I thought you and I had beef. I thought we had beef. The Joy Queen is in the building. Miss T is here. Pillsbury, Fire Live. I know it would have kept going if your StreamYard wasn't. Come on, Pills, man. You're a great content creator, bro. You have to think like, okay, StreamYard is worth the investment, brother. Come on, Pills. Invest, bro. You're a great content creator. You're talking about having all these different types of shows and all that shit. Invest in StreamYard, brother. I would still be in your chat right now if you just invested in StreamYard. All right, is that it? Did I get everybody? Enjoy Life is here. Good to see you, superstar. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Toya, oh, snap. Toya is in the chat. Hey, you know that Dr. Binary is making progress and is doing great when Toya is in the chat. Thank you, Toya, for being here. Cosmic Girl, one of my faves. She already knows it. She is here. No lies being told. Yeah, Grandpa Joe, y'all already know, man. That dude. And I know this live is going to somewhat spark. This live is going to be that energy he needs. I'm going to get with AAS and we going to get you cold. That's what. Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever. Shauna is here. One of my favorite and best mods is in the building. Good to see you, Shauna. All right, I think we got it. I think we're there. Drip, that's the homie right there. Drip is actually trying to do real content. I'm not saying what we do isn't real content, but content that actually makes a real difference in society. You know what I mean? All right, I think we're good. Oh, Diva, what's good? Yeah, Diva. I didn't even watch the live yet where he was trying to go off on you. I'm gonna watch that one tonight. Keeping It Plain is in the building. Good to see you. Yeah, Diva. Stephanie Collins is here. My sister in Christ is here. Okay, there we go. Got through everybody. Here we go. We're going to go Carrie, then we're going to go back to Grandpa Joe because look, it's time, right? It's time. May is right around the corner, although it's going to be towards the end of May when I hit that go live button for the summer. I am a little bit bummed out. I'm still trying to convince NBK to do the show with me because I know he brings an element to the show that, you know, it's irreplaceable, and I'm going to be losing so much without that element on the show. But, you know, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. You know what I mean? Hopefully I can get some people through, you know, at least 2 or 3 hours of their morning so they're not hearing the same regurgitated shit every single morning. And that's no shot at Jay Dunn or YouTube cameras. I'm just saying sometimes you just need that voice in the wilderness that's not biased and that's not so heavily invested in storylines. Like, I'm not that heavily invested in storylines. So I could keep it real when it comes to whatever it is I'm seeing on these YouTube streets. That's what's crazy, because when I keep it real about what I see on these YouTube streets, if I'm for somebody while keeping it real, they think that I'm always for them. And then if they fuck up and I see like, damn, man, that's looking horrible. Like, what are you doing? And I talk about it, all of a sudden they turn their back on me as if I can't talk about how they're screwing up. And that's why I don't get into all these clicks and things, and people ain't reaching out to me to be in all these clicks and things, because I can't just ignore what I see. And everybody and their grandmama knows that I really enjoy Lemon's platform and how he gives it up and things like that, or whatever. But that still does not stop me from talking my shit if I feel it necessary to talk shit. It is what it is. And Lemon, in the beginning, he used to get mad. Mod, unmod, mod, unmod, mod, unmod. But now he figured it out, like, damn, Binary's just being true to himself and he's being fair. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And Grandpa Joe, I'm telling you, Grandpa Joe hit Brianna's link this morning. Brianna had a fire live this morning. He hit her link this morning, cussed out Ken. And then I think he was trying his hardest to cuss out Brianna on her link. That's one thing I can't stand about this dude. This dude will take opportunity after opportunity to try to disrespect you on your own shit and then get upset when you don't let him up. Remember, there is only 2 people that I will not let on my panel. Maybe 3. I'm still debating on Mike or not. And Mike's probably like, what I do? I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. But everybody knows Beasley and Grandpa Joe are just not welcomed on my panel. We just don't have good conversations. I don't know what it is. I just don't have good conversations with them. Maybe it's because I can't enter into their land of delusion. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe because they know I'm a better content creator than them. Although I really don't give a shit as much as they do. And so they want my approval. Case in point. When I was on Ness's platform, when I was in Ness's chat, and Grandpa Joe was begging Ness to do a For the Love of Grandpa Joe. That was my first introduction to ZX. When he was on Ness's panel, begging Ness to do a For the Love of Grandpa Joe. I took my ass up on that panel and I introduced myself in the way that I always introduce myself, and that was trolling the shit out of his old ass. I was killing him. I was killing this dude. Because one thing I could not stand was watching him bash homosexuals within a space where it's predominantly homosexual. So I couldn't stand that. So I knew I didn't like him already. And then beg someone who is either bi or lesbian. I don't know what Ness is claiming on these days. Maybe straight. I have no idea. But at the time, I think she was a lesbian. I think. That's no shot. It's just the truth. And so I was thinking to myself, the hypocrisy of you bashing people that are attracted to the same gender, but then have the audacity to ask a lesbian to do a show for you that's for the love of. I couldn't believe the hypocrisy that I was hearing, and I called him out on that. And then he had the audacity to try to call me like a gay people lover or whatever. And then he was blown away when I said, okay, you can say that, but hey, I am an ally. I do advocate. That is me. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of that. It's always been that way for me. And then Beasley decided that he was going to troll the shit out of me because of my stance. But here's my case in point. When I was lighting him up, it was so bad that MBK, after 3 years, after 3 years, hit the link. After 3 years, MBK hit the link and tried to save that man. He tried to save that man. And then I went live after that, capitalizing, because I'm no idiot. I'm no dummy. I knew I just rang a bell within the sector, whether it's the black sector or the B sector or whatever. I knew I rang a bell. And so I went live and did my live in typical binary code fashion. Because when I'm on your ass, I don't care if the 75 people like what I'm saying or not. I know that the person I'm talking about, they are hot. I can ignore people that tell me, calm it down, binary, you're doing too much, don't do this, don't do that. I can ignore all that. Or this is whack, what are you talking about, blah, blah. I can ignore all that. And I can stick to whatever it is I decided I wanted to do. And so I went live after that Nest joint, and I made sure I went in on Grandpa Joe. And unfortunately, MBK at the same time. But primarily Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe hit my link. He hit my link 15 times. After I cussed him out the first time, told him he's no longer welcome, I was showing the chat every time he would come back up after getting cussed out and sent down. 15 times that man hit my link. And the reason why is because he knows I can read his rights. Grandpa Joe knows I can read his rights. And the saddest thing about that is I was so crafty with the situation between myself and Grandpa Joe, NBK decided, damn, maybe we can work together. NBK was like, wait a second, this shit's different. And when NBK was able to distance himself from that toxicity that Grandpa Joe was kicking, NBK was able to realize just how cancerous Grandpa Joe actually is. And so Grandpa Joe could not stand that shit. He could not take it. His blood started boiling. Cholesterol levels through the roof. High blood pressure. His respirator machine started beeping. You want to talk about a crash out. Grandpa Joe was so heated, he started bringing up all kinds of old shit on NBK. NBK came over to Code Fam and made my show better than it ever could be. Which is why it's sad that, you know, it's sad. You know, you already know. Grandpa Joe noticed that NBK is mad talented. Way more talented without him than with him. That made him take the oxygen tank and put it over his mouth too. The man was breathing heavy. So man, he dug up all kinds of old shit on NBK, trying to get him to run. NBK stood firm. That's why he's so mad today. That's why Grandpa Joe is mad today. Because he realizes that he is not the star. He is not the main attraction. If he brings anybody to his side, that person, no matter who he or she is better than him. They will leave him and go on and do greater things. It just is what it is. It is what it is. ZX's family, Grandpa Joe's family, left him and did greater things. His family left him and did greater things. Damn, Binary, that's harsh. That's cold. No, he's harsh. He's cold. He's ridiculous. He's the one that tried to go off on Brianna today. He's the one that was throwing them false allegations against Ken Nola today. Now, before I talk more about Grandpa Joe and before I talk more about Carrie and her delusional bias, can we just address the elephant in the room? It's a toy elephant because ain't no elephant fitting in Rex's room. What the hell? What the hell does Rex got going on? What does Rex really got going on? Look. Rex is one of those people that's old and delusional as well. And Rex really thinks he can beat everybody up. It's crazy to me that Rex really thinks he could beat everybody up. He needs to beat up some dishes. He needs to beat up a mattress. Get a mattress in your crib, brother. He needs to go down and rent a refrigerator, bro. Like, something needs to give, man. You cannot be on YouTube talking greasy, living in, I don't even know. I can't even call it an apartment. I don't know if it's a duplex. I don't know if it is one of those storage rental places. Where are you at, brother? Where are you at? That's how, look, he lives in a storage rental. His front door is the sliding garage door thingamajigger that has to open up. And he home. He goes home, he's like, he has to talk to himself. Welcome home, Rex. That's why he is always outside. 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, RNY, meow, meow, Jerv. Yeah, what up? Rex is never home. He's never home. And now we know why he is never home. I ain't gonna listen to no binary code somebody that put paperwork on somebody. Well, I'm not gonna listen to a brother that sleeps on a 1/2-inch mattress. Is your back okay? Brother, is your back okay? I seen the corner of your space. I don't even know if I could call that a home. Is your laundry okay? You walking around smelling like a mildew rag. We know you ain't washing your clothes. And let me just throw this out about good old Rex. What I'm about to tell you is facts. This is a fact. Rex mama, on occasion, will buy that Negro underwear. Underwear. Rex is 70 years old, and his mama is still buying him drawers, and he thinks that's a flex. He was talking to Miss T Velocity. Hey, Miss T Velocity, it feels good, cause my mama, she reached out to me on my birthday, and she sent me some drawers. I needed them. Damn right you needed them. What good is having a 6-pack pair of drawers when you don't shower? Those underwear are only going to be good for 10 minutes, Negro. As soon as you put them on and you start walking your drunk ass out of your garage door, they through, brother. They through. So in all actuality, your mama is doing you a disservice. Your mama is doing you a disservice because she has empowered you to continue to be nasty. You nasty, Rex. I'm sorry, you nasty, bro. I could not believe what I seen. I was like, this can't be that tough Tony Negro talking ish all over the internet. This can't be him. This can't be him. The reason your storage room, I don't know where you live, but the reason why your storage room looks like the way it does is because you be stumbling and fumbling around everywhere, knocking shit over. You got a mini fridge. You got a mini fridge with 2 shelves in that bitch. And one shelf is completely empty, Negro. Well, I don't need much, it's just me. It's just me, I don't need much. Come on, Rex, get it together, bro. Look, when I first came to the space and I heard Rex speak, I was like, okay, look at this dude. All right, look at Rex, giving it up. He going in on everybody. Rex don't give a fuck. He ready to fight. He going in on everybody. But then after a while, you start peeping game and you realize, oh no, it's one of those. It's one of those P the panel killer type situations. Oh, I'm going to kick your ass even though only one arm works. Brother, stop. Brother, stop. P the panel killer was so pressed because we know that only one of his arms work, right? He was so pressed that this dude took some painkillers, went on live, and started lifting up his arms. It reminds me of Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe was so pressed that he put his camera on and started walking around. Look, I could walk. I'm walking good. I had Grandpa Joe so pressed that he was walking through his kitchen. Y'all say I can't walk. I can walk. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. Rex, let me just tell you this, Rex. You and I cannot have a back and forth until you clean your room, Negro. Rex, you and I cannot have a back and forth until you clean your room. Damn, your mama sent you some drawers. She should have been like, Negro, I ain't sending you shit until you clean your room. What type of time you on, bro? What type of time are you really on? Seriously. And look, shout out to Rex for this, though. Let me say this to Rex. Shout out to Rex for this. He knows he's old. And he probably knows deep down inside he can't really fight like that no more. And so what Rex will do is put young people in harm's way for him. So he will talk all kinds of shit. But at least he's mindful enough to be like, I gotta find one of these little niggas on the block to go fight. So you're gonna talk all this trash and then try to convince somebody to fight your battles physically for you. That is BITCH behavior. That is BITCH behavior, Rex. Why are you going to throw them in the middle of shit that you're involved in and they have no clue with what's going on? Because you can't stand 10 toes down. You can't stand at all. All you do is wobble. You wobble everywhere you go, brother. So Bomb is here. Good to see you, So Bomb. Oh, there's my homegirl. What's up, Pizarro? Good to see you, superstar. Let me do what's only right. Hold on. Let me do what's only right. Now, Pizarro might be one of those, hopefully she's not one of those that think because I rock with her heavy, which I do. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Because I rock with her heavy. And now Diva might be on my ass because I just said that. That if she does something silly and I start talking shit, she might turn her back on me, but it's okay. It's all right. There we go. Now Diva gonna be mad at me, but it's okay. All right, so anyways, let's get back. Oh, so I think I might be done with Rex. If anybody sees Rex, let him know that Binary is talking heavy shit. Binary is talking heavy shit. Because it don't make no sense for you to live life as long as Rex has been living life and live in filth the way that he lives in filth. Mind you, this is a dude that has been divorced 7 times. I could be, exaggerating the number a little bit, but I know it's been a lot of divorces. I think it's 7. And when you look at the way he articulates himself, and when you look at the way he carries himself, the way he presents himself, the way that he displays his crib in how he's not ashamed of living in filth, when you look at all that, you can tell why he has been divorced 7 times. Okay, maybe 1 divorce. I'm going to stick with 7, though. Rex says, pull up. I'm going to stick with 7. How about that? You can tell why, though. He nasty. To all the females in the chat, let me ask you this. If a dude was just dope, and y'all were hitting it off, things were cool, and he invited you over, he was like, trust me, I ain't gonna try nothing stupid, whoop-de-whoop, just come over, have a few drinks, I promise you ain't nothing dumb gonna happen. And you was like, all right, let me go through. Let me come through. And you ended up at a house or a storage garage that looked like Rex's crib. Do you stay for drinks? Do you stay for drinks? That's my question. Because if you would stay for drinks, then hey, maybe he does got all kinds of game. But if you wouldn't, there is no wonder why he's been divorced. Ain't no woman in the world going to live like that. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I'm going to tell you straight up, there's no woman in the world that's going to support somebody that always leans to that direction. Meaning this, let me just say this. If that woman always has to get the kids to keep trying to clean the house, or she has to keep picking up after you, and she has to keep doing all this, like you're like one of the kids and like the youngest, but you a grown ass man, they're not gonna put up with that shit. Not his divorce pad, Lord. What up, TMK? Good to see you, TMK. I don't know why Photon was going in on you, bro. I don't know what you done did to Photon, bro, but he was going in. Now, let me talk about Carrie Ann for a second. Carrie Ann, I'm starting to see who is Garfield, who is Miss Thangs. That's Carrie Ann. I'm starting to see she is one of the most emotional people on this application. My sector gassed her head up so much that she is psychologically damaged. She cannot get out of her own world of delusion. She is trapped. She's trapped. And what she doesn't realize, now everybody knows Pills is my homie. Pills is my homeboy. He is a mod over here. I love his channel. I love what he got going on. He's about to have a cooking channel, which I know is going to be fire. I know that shit's going to be fire. But what Miss Thangs, Garfield, Carrie does not realize is that Pills will gas any woman. Any woman. It does not matter. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, he don't give a damn. If you are a woman, you are a queen. And he is going to gas the shit out of you. Carrie does not realize that. Carrie thought she was in a safe place. What up, Rev? Carrie thought she was in a safe place. She carried her ass on over to Pillsbury Drive. She started talking shit about Snoop. Not knowing that Snoop was in the clouds. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I am back. I'm back. Garfield, a.k.a. Carrie, a.k.a. Miss Thangs, a.k.a. I Resigned, took her ass over there, forgetting that Pills will gas any woman that hits his panel. Case in point, Stephanie Collins hit his panel, and I have nothing against Stephanie Collins. I have nothing against her being white or anything like that. You know, I have nothing, and she's my sister in Christ, and she's a moderator over here on this channel. I have nothing against her. But he even called her a queen. I wonder if he called her a black queen. I gotta go rewind the tape. So everybody is a queen. And delusional ass Carrie Ann keeps forgetting this. So Carrie Ann thinks she's roasting. So she's talking shit about me. She's talking shit about people. And Pills is doing what Pills typically does and laughs and does the dams. He tries to do the dams. I think he does a pretty good job. Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. Just saying, Pills. But he does that, right? So Carrie has this illusion of cooking. Oh, shit, I'm up here cooking. Like, Pills is agreeing with me. I'm cooking. Lady Snoop hits that panel. And I know y'all were all over there, but this is just a nice little recap that I like to give. Lady Snoop, L Blue, it's my homegirl right there. That's my sister. That's my real sister right there. Y'all don't know about L Blue. It's my homegirl. Lady Snoop hits that panel. And before she goes in on Carrie Ann, a.k.a. Garfield, a.k.a. Miss Thangs, a.k.a. I Resigned, before she goes in on her, She wants to make it clear. She wants to make it clear that Pills fucks with her. And so she addresses Pills. Pills called her his queen, called her everything that he calls every woman. So Lady Snoop was very calculated at her attack. She was very calculated. So she removed that element. So now Carrie has to stand toe-to-toe with Lady Snoop. Now you have to be seasoned to stand toe-to-toe with Lady Snoop. Ness stood toe-to-toe with Lady Snoop. That was a great back and forth battle. That shit was crazy. A lot of people stood toe-to-toe. Damn, shit. For a while there, Pills was trying to stand toe-to-toe with Lady Snoop and then had to concede. At the end of the day, she my black queen at the end of the day. At the end of the day, she dropped a diss track and body draw. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I F's with Pills. That's my T-Pre right there. I F's with Pills. So Carrie now has to stand on her 10. She has to stand 10 toes down. She could not do it. Snoop was murdering Carrie. All Carrie could do was pull the victim card. You want to talk about my hair? What's wrong with looking like Frederick Douglass as a woman? What's wrong with looking like James Brown as a woman? What's crazy? Look. To each their own, man. To each their own. But I don't really want to have sex with a woman that looks like Frederick Douglass. I'm sorry. Just not my cup of tea. I'm not trying to have sex with a woman that looks like James Brown. Look, I'm sorry. Hey, to each their own. I'm just saying me personally. It's just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. And what's crazy, right, is Carrie loves to make fun of my Asian wife. Loves to make fun of my Asian wife. Just loves it. But last time that I checked, Carrie be wearing colorful wigs that looks like my wife's hair. Carrie be putting extensions in that trying to look like my daughter's hair. Carrie tries her hardest to look like the females within my family. She has to go out of her way and purchase things in order to look like the very things that she's trying to hate on. It's crazy how that works. Photon already let the cat out of the bag. Already let the cat out of the bag. When Carrie had that camera slip, when I was on that panel, in her bang, this is a bang, and her bang was standing up in a vertical direction, saluting the ceiling, saying hi to the ceiling. Something about Mary. Remember when something about Mary, she thought she had some gel in her hair or whatever? Carrie confided in Photon and said, I got to do something. I know Binary's going to take that camera slip. I know he's going to roast me to no end. I got to do something. The very next day, at night, she cams up. She hits that go live button. She cams up and her hair is dead. I mean, she had the weave up in there. She had the braids popping. She had it really going. You know what I'm saying? She really went all out. Just to make sure that we seen her in that light. She keeps trying to say, what's wrong with my natural state? Why do you keep on clowning on me about my natural state? Girl, if you didn't care about how you look for real, why didn't you just keep camming up in your natural state? Even if you did have an appointment the next day. When it was all said and done, I still haven't seen the Frederick Douglass. I haven't seen it. I've only seen the Frederick Douglass once, maybe twice. That's it. I've only seen the Frederick Douglass once, maybe twice. That's it. If you are so proud of that hairstyle, listen to me. If you are so proud of that, cam up and rock it, homegirl. Just rock it, homegirl. Rock the Frederick Douglass. And please stop talking about my wife, because I know that everything she is, and my wife, let me tell you this, my wife is not a communist. My wife is definitely a capitalist. My wife is not an atheist like you. My wife is definitely a devout Christian. So you can't really compare yourself to her. Stop trying to mimic her with the type of hairstyles that you have. How about that? How about you just express yourself? And this, I'm not talking about all black women. I'm talking about this one in particular black woman. That's it. Because she has so much ish to say about me and my family. Now, what she is going to try to do is weaponize me versus her. Is she is going to do what just about a lot of people within my sector does, is she's going to try to turn this into a me versus them. Which is one reason why I do love the B sector and the black sector so much, is because they don't fall for that shit. They don't fall for the okie doke. They don't. That's why Carrie got ran the hell out of the beef sector. Because they seen right through her. Carrie can only be fake for so long. I'm telling you, every single relationship that she's had, friendship type of relationship, not actual relationship, because don't no man really want to be with her. But every single acquaintance, friendship, relationship she's had on YouTube, she has been disloyal. Now, she has made amends with people, but she has fallen out with every single person on YouTube that knows about her. She can only be fake for so long. And I find it very, very amusing that she keeps saying that I'm anti-black this and I'm anti-black that. And people that have doxed me, people that have looked into me for real, they know exactly what I do for the black community. They know it. Which is why that shit don't hit. But what does Carrie do for the black community? She raises money to give them coats, and then she says she don't even F with them. She raises money to give them shoes, and then she says she don't even care about them kids. That's what she does for the black community. I'm not kidding. Those are facts. That is the truth. She came to our sector, raised money for some kids to give them some shoes and shit and a coat, and then turns around and says she doesn't give a damn about them. F them kids. I don't care about them kids. How are you live right now, Carrie? Shouldn't you be teaching? Care about them kids. Put on a movie. They can watch a movie or something. That is a person that lost her job because she was so addicted to YouTube. She was so addicted to YouTube, she lost her job. That's right, L Blue. She talks down on the black community all the time. Oh yeah, the reason we're going at each other is because YM is because I guess on Photon's panel she thought it was cool to come at me. She wanted to talk about when I was 19 and saying I groped and did all that stuff. I mean, okay, fine. So if we're going to talk about that, that opens it up. It's fair game. Like, it's fair game. It is what it is. It's fair game. So that's why. Because what she thinks that story actually holds weight. That story that she thinks she's telling about me don't hold as much weight as she thinks. But you want to know what does hold? Brenda is here. What's up, Brenda? Good to see you, superstar. Love me some Brenda. You know what does hold weight is her actually saying she don't care about them kids that she's teaching. You want to know what actually holds weight is watching her students on a news program talking about they are devastated that a teacher would say that about them. You know what does hold weight? When your employer comes to you as an employee and they say, you know what? Resign or be fired. Because if you get fired, good luck getting another job. If you resign, yeah, you can't hit us with that unemployment. Choose your fate. That holds weight. That holds weight. That holds a lot of weight. So that's my real issue. It's like, all right, look, shit was cool, right? We was both going back and forth on Ghost. I was like, damn, this shit's funny. I can't believe Carrie and I are actually going back and forth on Ghost. This shit was funny. And then she thought because Ghost started talking about me that she could flip the script and start talking about me too. And like, I ain't gonna say shit. Like, I ain't gonna say shit. What, am I supposed to just sit there and let her talk shit? And the craziest thing about Carrie Ann, aka Garfield, aka Miss Things, aka I Resigned. The craziest thing about her is she has unresolved issues. And when I found out that her parents actually did get divorced and how she was projecting on Stargate, and I know a lot of people are like, well, she didn't technically talk about Stargate's parents being divorced. She just said her mama drove her daddy away. Technically, I don't give a damn about technicalities and semantics. I don't give a damn. When she was projecting herself onto Stargate, I didn't know it was projection at first. I thought she was just hitting below the belt. Talking about Stargate's parents not being together, hitting below the belt. I was like, damn, Stargate must have triggered this woman because she's really hitting below the belt. Your mama can't keep your daddy. Okay. Then come to find out that her mama can't keep her daddy. God damn. When I found that out, I knew right then and there that she is still disturbed by that. That was a foundational rocking for Carrie, aka Garfield, aka Miss Thangs, aka I resigned. I'm sorry. That was a foundational rocking point. That was a pivotal point in her life that changed the trajectory of who she is and where she was headed. It changed it. Or who she would become and where she was headed. Forgive me. It changed the whole trajectory of her life. Which is why she asked me some very personal questions. So, Binary, let me ask you a question. Yo, mama and daddy still together, Negro? Yeah, they are. Was your mama a prostitute? No, she wasn't. I answered her questions. And then I said, well, let me go ahead and ask you a personal question since you're asking me personal questions. How old were you when your parents got divorced? I ain't answering that shit. Very traumatic time in her life. I'm telling you, she probably has nightmares about that. Because Carrie Ann lives in the world of delusion. When she falls asleep, she still dreams of her parents being together. And when she wakes up, she lives in that harsh reality of she's alone. Remember, she is an only child. Just the three of us. We can make it if we try, just the three of us, you and I. Shit ain't like that no more. So I know that shit hurts. And I know me talking about it hurts. But we got to realize who I'm talking about. Somebody that projects her emotional pain on people. And then when you flip it back, they tuck tail and run and turn victim. That's why it was sad watching her get body bagged by Star last night. It was sad watching me put her on mute. I pretty much put her on mute. And for anybody that has any issues with Carrie, a.k.a. Garfield, a.k.a. Miss Thangs, a.k.a. I've resigned, if you have any issues with her, if you want to put her on mute, just ask her the troubling question of how old were you when your parents got divorced? Eventually, she's going to answer that question. And when she answers that question, a can of worms will explode. A can of worms will explode. And I think she knows that. This is somebody that was really good friends with a doctor on YouTube. She was really good friends with a doctor on YouTube, but I did not know that she secretly despised this doctor because this particular doctor have reached heights that she could only dream and imagine. Where's the proof? Carrie Ann, a.k.a. Garfield, a.k.a. Miss Thangs, a.k.a. I've resigned. She went around these YouTube streets letting everybody know that she has a master's degree. What's crazy is she said it so much that she actually believed it. Not knowing that she would be outed. So she was outed, and come to find out, she barely scratched the surface of a bachelor's degree, which I ain't hating on degrees. A degree is a degree. If you got any type of degree, congratulations. That shit ain't easy. Even an associate's degree ain't easy. Because 9 times out of 10, when you fresh out of high school, your ass ain't trying to go back to college. And then if you don't go back to college when you're fresh out of high school, it's even harder to go back to college when you're an adult. So if you did that, kudos to you that you went back. But I'm just saying that she was so pressed that one of her quote unquote friends had reached the pinnacle of education. She had to go around lying and saying she's right there too, like she's right behind her. I don't know, when I got my master's degree, I just thought, I don't want to put in another 4 or 5 years to go. But I was thinking about it, though. But I don't want to put another 4 or 5 years into it to become a doctor or get my doctorate or anything like that. Girl, really? You got to put in the additional 2 or 3 years to get that master's first, girl. Stop playing. Then you could talk about the 3, 4, or 5 years after that. Girl, you have a long road. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know. Sam Cooke looking ass Negro. What's wrong with looking like Frederick Douglass? What's wrong with looking like James Brown? What's wrong with looking like Sam Cooke? Nothing, I guess. It's just not my cup of tea for a woman. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not my cup of tea for a woman. There are guys that like that. Like Ghost. Ghost is adamant. He is clear. He'll hit it. Photon won't. TC would, though. TC said you got a turkey booty. TC said he with it. TC said he'll risk it all. Turned Up TV. Turned Up TV said he'll risk it all. Turned Up TV said, look, shoot. I know I got 30 kids. And I know I got a wife. But if Frederick Douglass brings her turkey booty up over her, it's on. It's on. No, Sam Cooke is, yeah, okay, yeah, Sam Cooke is handsome now. But I'm not trying to have sex with Sam Cooke. Frederick Douglass is handsome now. I ain't trying to have sex with Frederick Douglass. James Brown got a lot of women. But I ain't trying to have sex with James Brown. What's wrong with looking like Frederick Douglass? She thinks she's saying something. She thinks she's saying something. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Why do we have to explain? Why do we have to explain that? My natural self is beautiful. Okay, maybe it is. Then why don't you just stay that way? Stay your natural self. Stay your natural self. If you are so confident in who you are, just be that. Ain't nothing wrong with looking like James Brown. Well, then be that. Lady Snoop got on that panel and murdered you. As a matter of fact, it's long overdue. Lady Snoop, Stargate, and then when I asked the question of how old were you when your parents got divorced, all that is a body bag. Let's get it.
Body bag, body bag. We put your body in a body bag, body bag, body bag. We put your body in a body bag.
Damn, girl. It's been a rough 2 days for good old Carrie Ann. It's been a rough 2 days. It's been a rough 2 days. So what I'm going to do right now, right, is I'm going to go ahead. Oh, it was on Pills' live right before this one, Rev G. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. Anybody that wants to come up can come up. All is welcomed except for 2 people. You guys know who that is. I really do want to have conversations about Grandpa Joe. I really do. So if you have some words for Grandpa Joe, or if you have questions to me for Grandpa Joe or about Grandpa Joe, go ahead and do that. But if you also want to talk about or speak up for Carrie Ann, you know, that's cool too. Or if you're in defense of Rex and his living conditions and you're like, look, stop clowning on somebody that lives in filth, you're welcome to do that too. ZX is Grandpa Joe. ZX is Grandpa Joe. I can't stand ZX, Rev G. I can't stand the dude. The dude is nasty to me. There's just something nasty about him. Something disgusting about him. ZX he uses people to no end. That's right, glitter boots. He uses people to no end. And when I found out every single conversation that he has had, he recorded, I already knew there was something wrong with this dude. I already knew there was something wrong with him. When he started bringing up conversations that he had with NBK, I'm like, bruh, you recorded those conversations? You recorded those? The problem with Grandpa Joe, the problem with Glitter Boots, the problem with ZX is he wants attention from homosexuals. He desires that attention. He craves that attention. If you have ever seen the movie American Beauty, ZX Glitter Boots, Grandpa Joe, he is the dad that made it seem as if he couldn't stand homosexuals. He thought his son was a homosexual and he was getting with Kevin Spacey across the street. Come to find out the dad was the one. That's Glitter Boots. That's Grandpa Joe. That's ZX for real. Y'all keep trying to throw me in some kind of closet. You really do. Y'all keep binaries in the closet. He might as well just come on out. That Negro is really in the closet. He really is. And he really needs to come out. I have never once invited anybody to my booty. I have never once did that. I've never once did that. You cannot tell me that this dude is not in the closet when he hikes his leg in the air and sticks his finger in his booty. Now, that would be defamation if I was making that shit up. That would be defamation. I'm not making it up. Listen, every single space that I go to, except for some of the white spaces, but all the other spaces that I go to, when I start roasting and clowning them, all they can do, because they know I'm affiliated with the LGBTQI plus community, I think there's an A in there now. Damn, keep adding letters and shit. All they can do is try to put me in that bag. People can't stand that I'm an advocate. People can't stand that I'm an ally. They can't stand that shit. And I guess the only way you can stand up for people's rights and equal rights and shit like that is you have to be that. I just see injustice and I speak up on it. I just see things that are clearly not fair and I speak up on it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But this dude, mind you, this is the guy, Grandpa Joe, ZX, Glitter Boots. This is the guy that talks down on a space he is always in. What kind of work are you really doing? Facts, YM. Facts. Real allies walk the mother effing walk. And without doxing or throwing anything out there, when my son went to his high school, I seen the booth when we were doing the orientation, and I seen and no, my son is not a homosexual, but I seen the booth, and I made sure I went up there, and I made sure I introduced myself, and I made sure that they knew where I stood, just in case. Just in case. During the orientation, I sure did. I took my ass right on over there. When you are that homophobic, there are some issues within your sexuality. Yes, yes. There are issues within your sexuality that I would say that you are not dealing with. That you are not dealing with. That's what I'm saying. He's not dealing with it. It's destroying him right now. It's killing him right now. Shout out to Shakim Ra, who came out on his own terms. People keep trying to say that Lemon made Shakim Ra come out. I don't think that's the case. I think Shakim Ra was finally comfortable with coming out within a space. Now, we all had our assumptions, we all had our speculations or whatever, but I think he was finally comfortable. Glitter Boots has made it difficult for himself. He has made it difficult for himself to come out because of all of the gay bashing he has been doing. We want to talk about Carrie Ann projecting. This man is projecting his ass off. Literally. Literally. Not figuratively. That leg was in the air and those fingers were in places they shouldn't have been. And those fingers were in places they shouldn't have been. And he was flicking his mother effing tongue. Stop. Stop. Not that Negro flicking it. Stop. Are you serious? Are you serious? Brother, that was nasty, bro. That was nasty. That was disgusting. And if that was your, if that was your audition tape, it's sad because I have a ZX cartoon of that leg lift. I need to go look at that cartoon. I need to go look at, maybe I liked it, maybe I laughed, maybe I just forgot about it. I need to go look at that cartoon, damn it. Look. That was probably his audition tape. He probably thought somebody was going to hit him up behind the scenes and be like, I see you, bro. I see you, bro. And I actually like what I see, bro. I swear to you, that's what Glitter Boots, ZX, Grandpa Joe, I swear that's probably what he was thinking. I see you, bro. I see you. I see you really. Okay, let's start talking. And even if somebody actually felt that way, they weren't going to hit that man up behind the scenes because he records everything. He records everything. Mind you, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't think that ZX is a gay man. I don't think that. I think, this is just me thinking and speculating, I could be wrong, but I think he just might be bisexual. And the reason why, don't forget the video to Mother while in the hospital. Stop. What's up, Make It Rain? Stop. Good night. That's another thing that I didn't even speak on. We know if Trezor hits Glitter Boots, ZX, Grandpa Joe up behind the scenes, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's over. It's over. He is going to figure out a way to pack up his breathing machine and make his way out to wherever Trezor is at. He is going to figure out a way. That dude is in love with James. He's in love with him. I don't know if he's in love with the numbers. I don't know if he's in love with the man. I don't know if he's in love with the queen. Or maybe both, but I know he's in love. Is his handle Glitter Boots? Nah, it's I think it's GFTV, but put a period before every letter. It'll pop up. I'm not putting, nobody drop his link in the chat, please. Don't do it. And don't do it. No, I think they all called him. Oh, Glitter Boots is what Hoodie called him. I think they all called him Glitter Boots. I think he was Glitter Boots before us, before the Umar sector went over there. I think he actually wore glitter boots. That should say it all, damn it. I'm sick of him trying to terrorize people. You are not the mother effing Wizard of Oz. There is no curtain in front of you. You are not spinning some kind of wheel behind the curtain and making your voice project louder than it is. Come on, man. We see you for who you are. I would say that you're a shell of your former self, but I would say you've never even spawned out of who you were. You're just weak. You're just a weak individual. You're a weak individual that is not loyal to anybody. You and Carrie Ann should team up. Y'all should form together like Voltron. Y'all should come together. I mean, that shit will only last for 2 weeks, but damn, it'll be a fire 2 weeks. You can get some info out of her. Tell me all you know about binaries, bitch ass. Tell me all you know. You get some info out of her. Then you guys are going to turn on each other in about 2 weeks. That'll be a good show to watch. But y'all should link up, Glitter Boots. Y'all should link up, Grandpa Joe. You should really link up. I don't know why he thinks that his voice and his word carries weight. People allow him on their panels to see how he's going to put his foot in his mouth, to see just how he's going to be hypocritical. Because it happened. He is very hypocritical. So they're going to let him on their panels just to see how in the hell is he going to make himself look stupid today. Now, summertime is coming. Yeah, he's been called Glitter Boots. Facts. Summertime is coming. So y'all already know I got time. So we'll see exactly how this thing goes. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. Although I want MBK to be my co-host. I think it's going to be cool that I'm not going to have any co-host. And I'm going to see how I can stand toe-to-toe. We'll see how it goes. Because I already know how he's going to give it up. I already know. First, he's going to try to find my employment. Then he's going to try to pull the files that they think they have on me. He's going to try to talk about how I'm a kept man and this and that, whoop-de-whoop. He's going to try to threaten me. Oh, let me go to anti and see what anti-AAS has to say about binary. That was so damn long ago. He's going to have to keep doing that. And all I'm going to do is keep talking about who he is right now. Who is he right now? He is a failed husband. He is a failed father. He is a failed YouTuber. He is one that will risk it all for views. Who is he right now? Somebody that will go live naked in a kitchen. Stop. Stop. Somebody that is so pressed about going back and forth that he will prove that he can actually move and start dancing and running around his damn kitchen. Who is he right now? That's going to be my challenge. Let's talk about who we are right now. Whatever info you find out about me for real, talk about it, who I am right now. And I'm going to talk about who you are right now. NBK is not co-hosting. I'm trying to beg him to co-host. He's not doing it because he is tired of our shit. He is tired of people getting into his personal life. He's sick of that shit. If I was in a different space, he would co-host. If I had different topics, he would co-host. But because I'm going to be talking about B sector, and black sector, and Mo3 sector shit, he's done with that. But he is going to support. He is going to support. Every once in a while, he'll be in the clouds or whatever, but he's sick of it. And, I really can't blame him. I'm a glutton for punishment. I am a glutton for punishment. I have learned my lesson, though, because I'm the type that I got smacked in the mouth. I got smacked in the mouth, and I had to tone down. Y'all think I'm bad now. Y'all haven't seen me before. What up, Lays? What up, Lays? What up, In the Clouds? What up, broski? It's been a minute. Good to see you. Oh, shit. Not the sun god Ra.
Damn. What's good, Binary?
Hey, man, I'm just starting it off. You already know.
Hey, good show so far. I've been listening. I'm listening and studying right now. But you said a few things that I wanted to piggyback off of. So when it comes to Carrie Ann, one thing about her, if the crowd isn't like cheering her on or if she's not being pumped up by the audience, it's like she can't maintain that same energy.
Damn, that's facts.
When it comes to Lady Snoop, it's like, I guess she thought the sector will automatically say that, she's winning, quote unquote, or that she body bag. But I just noticed that the sector ain't doing that for her no more. It's like there's been a shift, and she doesn't have that same effect on the audience, I guess. I don't know. It's
she
weird.
Doesn't. I have noticed that, and it's because of what I kind of said earlier, that a lot of people from the B sector like watching Pills' show. You know what I mean? And they don't fall for the okie doke like how our sector typically does. If they like you, no matter if you're winning or losing, they're going to say you winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so she's running into a reality check, and the reality is she ain't as dope as she thought she was. You know, because when you two went back and forth, you and Carrie, I already told you I knew you was winning. But because the sector at that time wasn't really feeling you the way, you know, that they are now, which is crazy, but they weren't really feeling you. They always say that she body bagged you and she did this and she did that. I was like, man, they being biased. But now she don't have that. She don't have that luxury no more. So you absolutely right, bro.
Yeah, and I just noticed that her energy was just so blah. Like she used to have so much energy, so much to say, so many quote unquote clapbacks and shit. And then today she was just like, why are you so emotional?
Exactly.
Why are you guys yelling?
Exactly, bro. And she was like that yesterday too. I was just like, who am I talking to right now? She's defeated. And I think the reason why she's defeated is because, you know, she messed around and found out, and YouTube touched her real life too. You know what I mean? And not only her job, but, you know, how she was projecting on Star about the divorce. And then I tried to, you know, I asked some real good questions to her. And now it's really starting to touch her real life, and she can't handle it.
Okay, so we found out something new that, you know, her daddy that she claims that she's so close with, she actually went through a divorce during her childhood, is what I'm understanding.
Oh, damn.
So while she was talking about my daddy and saying my daddy did this and my daddy did that and my daddy did that, that broad didn't even have her daddy in the house. Bitch, I grew up with my daddy. Same bitch.
No wonder it was so triggering. I knew there was something behind it. I'm like, damn, you ask me all these personal questions I answered. I ask you one and you can't do it. That's why. If what you're saying is true, Lord Jesus, she's in a world of hurt, bro. Because she's never going to be able to escape that reality.
Oh, yeah, I've been said she had daddy issues. I mean, we can tell because when she came in the sector, she had so much vitriol. And this is another thing I want to touch on. A lot of people was like, is she really Umar sector? And I'm like, technically she's not, because when we all started the sector, started doing content, she wasn't here. She came later. She came later on some anti-black shit. And she just wanted, and she admitted this on her channel, she said she just wanted a place where she could argue with black people and talk ghetto. Like,
damn.
That's how she thinks of us. Like, she really thinks of us as, you know, a bunch of ghetto motherfuckers on the internet just talking and arguing for no reason. Doesn't sound like an intellectual to me. So you fast forward to today, it's like she's reduced herself to, you know, kissing up the photon and running from Lady Snoop. Like, this is not a good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah, she got bodied, man. She got bodied yesterday. She got bodied today. It's just a bad week for her, man. It's a long weekend for her, man. Like, I don't know. And then her comebacks are just like, why would she say what's wrong with looking like Frederick Douglass?
Right, like
as a woman, I'm like, I guess that's how you coming back. What's wrong with looking like James Brown? Like, God, dog, man.
You might as well say you ain't got no problem with looking like Ice Cube and Will Smith in the face too, oh. So what are you talking about? See, that's the thing. The broad one day wants to tear down everything that's black and, you know, talk about all this anti-black shit, but then when somebody's talking about her being unkept, she tries to make it a black issue. It's not a black issue. It's the fact that your hair wasn't combed that day. It's the fact that you had eyes bulging out of your head, eyes looking like, you know, they could see the moon. So it was just a lot of things wrong with that photo. And she tries to make it about some black shit. Like, nah, bitch, that's not
tough.
what it's about.
That's tough. And anybody that knows anything, they know that I'm not anti-black. She's trying to throw that narrative out there and trying to get it to stick. It's just that I don't give a damn who I'm talking about. I'll talk about anybody. I don't care. And so she's trying to make that an anti-black thing. I don't care if you're a white woman, black woman, Asian woman. I don't give a damn. I'm going to talk. If I feel like talking about you, I'm going to talk about you. And so she's trying her hardest to say that I'm anti-black. But you made a great point. She came into this sector being anti-black. Now, that is the truth. And everybody in the Umar sector knows that. We know that that's the truth. I mean, she tried to pretty much crucify D. Darrell because he's a black man.
Yeah, and she, even when she fell out with T. Pre, which they're cool now, which is funny, right? They both got mods on each other's channel. It's just really funny. We've come a long way, but back then, when she wasn't fucking with T. Pre, nigga, she was definitely giving it all the way up about how she really feel about T. Pre. And she said that T. Pre, being a dark-skinned woman, could do nothing but play the role of a slave or for a white man to pretend that he's
I
fucking a man
remember that.
in
I remember
2023.
that. Damn, I remember that. Gosh. Man, and we don't have short-term memory loss in our sector, bro. If anything, we remember every goddamn thing.
Oh, yeah, this sector ain't gonna let you forget shit, nigga. You could have been doing some shit in 1888, nigga. Fresh off the plantation or some shit. Just got your freedom and everything, and the sector still gonna put that shit in your
No,
face.
that's facts, man. That's facts. So let me ask you about Rex, man. I don't know if you cool with Rex or not, but it's just I don't know, because every time I clown on him, he always wants to bring up the paperwork stuff. Did that paperwork really affect you the way that it did? And if so, I just want to apologize right now, but I didn't think it would affect you if it did. I thought that, it didn't hold no weight because we were in different states. I just wanted to I just wanted to do something within the sector. Did it affect you?
Yeah, I think people online are more upset about it than we are, or I am.
Right.
Because we were in different states, so it wasn't like, oh damn, I can't be around binary. Like what?
Right.
My brother lives in AZ, but you know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. And another person that likes to bring that shit up too, Lemonisha Alize Jenkins likes to bring that shit up as well. So anybody, who else is bringing that shit up? Let me think of all.
Not Lemonisha Alize.
Sour Patch, burrito con
God.
extra sauce.
Hey, you going off? You know those are my people. You going off though? Go.
I
off.
know. Oh yeah, I
It's
forgot.
funny though. No, this shit's funny. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm gonna laugh, but I'll just let you know this shit's funny. Go ahead, brother.
All of these people that bring up this paperwork, like, again, nigga, I'm in Detroit. Well, I'm not even in Detroit. I'm in the suburbs of Detroit, and binary's all the way where he's at. So Rex brought that up. I'm surprised. I didn't even know.
Yeah, he brought it up because I was killing him, and I'm going to continue to kill him. I mean, I was murdering this dude, and I'm going to continue doing it because I couldn't believe what I seen when he cammed up. And first off, I couldn't believe he cammed up and thought he was flexing, showing that dirty ass place wherever the hell he was living. I was like, what is this, man? You really showing us this?
Hey, that's how you know the mental illness is real, right? When you start flexing about shit that's just like low vibrational as fuck.
Very low.
He literally showed that shit, I think by accident, because originally he was showing the refrigerator, right? Which he'd been showing for a minute. This nigga has been showing a mini refrigerator for like 2 weeks, nigga. Every time somebody tell that nigga to cam up, nigga. So,
oh my, what is wrong with him, man? God. That's why I can't take nothing he says serious, man. Nothing. I really never really took anything he said serious, but when I saw the visuals, that just confirmed it in my mind that this dude's a whole clown, man. He is a whole clown. Like,
and it shows you like, hey, motherfuckers can lose everything and fall off, you know what I'm saying, then bounce back. But what you don't want to do is be acting like you're that nigga on YouTube when you know you don't really got it like that. I've been telling motherfuckers that shit for years. Shout out to Flacco.
Oh shit. Flacco probably going through his own shit because his mainstream of income's about to get cut. Because Adam's going through his shit. So it's only a matter of time that Flacco's gonna have to, face the harsh reality of that income being gone.
Oh yeah, I mean he's already had like 3 podcasts canceled, so Flacco has lost a lot of shit fucking around with Adam 22 and all the freaks out there in LA. He's lost a lot of things.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts. I low key feel bad for him, because he kind of sold his soul to get to where he's at, and now it's all coming crashing down. But at least he was able to kind of capitalize because his channel is okay. And he's doing good on his channel. I don't know how much money he's making, but it's not going to be the same because his mainstream of income is gone. I notice he's pumping out a lot more videos, trying to keep that shit popping. I noticed that. So, shout out to Flacco. Hopefully,
remember when he first went, he didn't have time to even do content on his own channel.
Exactly.
But now, that nigga making time. That nigga doing like 5 videos a day again. Like he just started.
That's facts. He got time because he's no longer the Instagram person. He used to do pretty much all of their social media that's not YouTube. You know what I mean? Instagram, TikTok. He used to do all that. But once those shits got deleted, he got time on his hands now.
That's what I'm saying. This nigga that had like 7 jobs. See, this is one thing about No Jumper. They're gonna make the African have the most jobs and shit. They're gonna make
Damn.
like 8 different jobs, and they just gonna start cutting back slowly. You still gonna get a check. It's just not gonna be the same check that you got when you first started. So, and that's why a lot of people ended up quitting the show. But that's a conversation for a different day. Shout out to T-Ray.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Yeah. Oh man, and if you weren't smart with your money, if you thought that same type of money was going to keep coming in, and you wasn't smart, you really hurting now. You really hurting now. If you weren't really, really wise with your money, you know what I mean? Putting some away, not living above your means, getting a lot of bad loans. You know what I mean? Hopefully he wasn't in that. Hopefully he's not in that boat. I know his apartment looks a lot better than it used to. So you just never know.
Yeah, I think Flacco will be all right. One thing about him, even though I don't like him, I will always say there's always going to be money doing YouTube, nigga. So just keep doing YouTube. You always have money.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, bro. I'm going to be in trouble this summer because NBK has adamantly told me he is not going to be my co-host. He's tired of this shit. You know what I mean? He does not want his name drugged through the mud. How you think I'm going to do, man? How you think I'm going to do this summer, bro? It's going to be rough for me, huh?
I mean, in the beginning, it may be rough, but I feel like you could get people to, participate in the show. You know what I'm saying? Right. It might be rough at first, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all did it as a duo. So this time it'll just be basically all on you. So you'll definitely have to put in more work, you know what I'm saying? To interact with people and stuff like that. But I think overall, you'll be all right.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that because I ain't gonna hold you. I was low key thinking like, damn, I don't even know if I want to do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, seriously, because if I feel like I'm doing too much work, it's no longer fun. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's a real job, and I'm not on YouTube to like work like that. You know what I'm saying? And MBK did a lot, bro. And you already clowned me for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already,
that nigga put in what? 12 hours a week plus. That nigga had a part-time job over here. He wasn't getting cash apps. Nigga, please. Me, I'm the type of person, I'm going to get a cash app real quick, without a lot of razzle-dazzle. So I don't know. I don't know why the beef sector wasn't pouring more into the show because they were definitely watching. So that part I don't really understand. But I don't think you should cancel the show. I think, if worst come to worst, nigga, I'm always here. So
no, that's facts.
You should do the show. True.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to do it. It's just like one of those things like, damn, the chemistry. But you and I got chemistry too, man. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We piss people off every morning, nigga. Like,
Lord Jesus.
I love being the Charlemagne or whatever you want to call me of the beef sector, nigga. I'm here to be the villain, bitch. I'm here to be your villain, hoe. And the Joker, bitch.
Listen, I shared your live out and somebody told me to unmod them. I was like, damn, it's like that. I haven't been
who that person was. I have a good idea who it was though.
You already know. I was like, damn, it's like that, huh? Okay, I haven't even been in my like YouTube studio in a hot minute. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to do that today. I have to go to the YouTube studio.
If it's who you think I'm talking about, it's like, who cares? That person has been unmodded so many times. If I got unmodded 10 plus times, nigga, I don't need to mod no more. But that person, yeah, it's like I could literally name all the people that have unmodded that person, and it would go on and on and on. So
it just keep going. And I am gonna say this: once I do unmod this person, I will never mod this person back up ever again, no matter what. Like it's just because this will be the second time. So I think you're right as far as the back and forth thing. Because this would be the second time that I've been down this road with this person. So it's just going to be like all right, once I do finally get into my YouTube studio and unmod this person, that's just that, And I don't understand why people don't like they get on this app and they are so against somebody that they can't even support the person that they're for. Because the person that they're for is not against the person that they're against. They can't even support the person that they're for. Just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean they shouldn't support me. It's weird, bro. It's weird how that shit works.
Yeah, because it's not based on logic, right? It's based on emotions. Like, and then it's like, if you really think like that, you won't have a lot of friends, nigga. Because if I wasn't cool with everybody that was cool with everybody, shit, who would I be cool with?
No, that's facts. No, that's real. Misha B is here. Good to see you, Misha B. Yeah, that's real, bro. And that's one thing I do like about you too. And I mean, I've been saying this until I was blue in the face. We don't let people's feelings pretty much dictate who we rock with and who we don't. We rock with whoever the hell we want to rock with. And if y'all ain't digging it, y'all ain't digging it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And I could say that confidently because I mean, I don't know if Brianna and Ness are back cool again, but you rocking with Brianna. You're a mod over there now.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm
I've been
saying?
rocking with Bree, rocking with Ness. See, people thought that was going to be like impossible, right? But in my mind, that shit was definitely possible. And look, you got Ness clicking Brianna's link. You got Ness. She raised $75 to get Brianna to unprivate a video about Jay Dunn and her ex-girlfriend. So we've come a long way. Come a long way.
Facts. Now, if Ness and Bree happen to fall out, do you fall out with any one of them?
Nope. Nope. I stay cool.
That's what I'm talking about. It's hard for people to see that, man. That's the thing that be getting on my damn nerves, man. And I think that's another reason why sometimes I don't really want to do this shit, because you think you have people that really got your back and then they pull that shit that this lady just pulled on me. You know what I mean? Like, unmod me. You share shock him shit. I see you the long way, B-code. Unmod me. What the hell?
Did you even share a video?
It was one of your lives, man. I was like, we over here. And I put a fire emoji. I was like, we over here.
Okay.
You know, and man, she got upset about that. I'm like, man, come on now.
Aw. Still sensitive in 2025. So you gotta have really tough skin to do YouTube. One thing I learned like early, you gotta have thick skin to do YouTube. And if you have thick skin, like you could do anything you want.
Facts.
But until you have that, it's like, broad, stop it. Keep doing what you're doing, Hope.
That's real. No, that's facts. That's facts. And I know I got thick skin. I know you got thick skin. I know Ness got thick skin. Bree got thick skin. I already know. Lemon is starting to get thick skin. Because in the beginning, he did not have thick skin. But he's starting to get it now. Would you agree with that or no? Or you can't even give him no kind of positive feedback or anything?
Right now, I can't give that nigga nothing positive. But, as far as my thoughts on that, I think, with time, we all get stronger. So, my thing is this, though. Why are you still getting porn bombed and you've been going live for over a year? Like,
God, man.
I guess they say it happens to the best of us. I'll say that, but I don't be getting porn bombed. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of haters. Have you ever been P-bombed over here? I don't think so.
I haven't. And you know what's crazy? And this isn't a bash Lemon session. This is just a keep it real part of the segment. Is what was crazy is when he highlighted a picture and it was a woman's like bare titties, and he kept that comment highlighted for like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, what? Like, and everybody in the chat is telling them, dude, take that comment down. Take that comment down. It's just like one of those things. You know what I mean? It's like you got to have some type of awareness of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, that just shows that he doesn't really like pay attention to the chat, which is a good thing, though. It's a good thing to not be so into the chat where you can't do your show. But at the same time, like, he be getting super chats and don't even be reading. I'm like, nigga, as soon as I get a super chat out, I'm like, thank you so much, blah, 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 for your $5.99.99. What you say? They be like, Lemon, you have a super chat. Like, he be like, oh, my bad. Oh, thank you, Terry P, for the $5. Like, what? You don't be paying attention. So
now, let's be fair. You do your show on a laptop, right?
I do.
Yeah, and I do my show on a desktop. So he needs to figure out like how he's gonna set up. He needs like a laptop. He needs a MacBook. He needs something, because doing a show on your phone, I can't even imagine how big of a headache that would be.
Yeah, I've had to do that a couple times, and it's not fun. I don't know why, but he has a computer. He even showed us the computer like months ago. So I guess he's just choosing not to use the computer because he's more comfortable on his Android device. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the doing it on a computer or a laptop or a desktop, whatever it is way more. It's just so much easier. But when you're on your phone, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, and then like when you're on your phone, you gotta find buttons and shit. It's not all readily available, and you gotta like, I don't know. I think that's really what it is. And then you add the alcohol on top of all that.
Oh yeah, the Taylor Port, cheap wine, nigga, the $5 wine, nigga. Please, you might as well be drinking E&J. I'm just saying.
Every time I go to the grocery store and I go into the wine section, and I'm not even a big drinker like that, and I see Taylor Port, I'm just like, damn, man, that's what living be on. That's what living be on, man.
I tried it one time. I tried it one night because he told me to come to his live. We was gonna do Taylor Port Tuesday. I tried it, and I'm just like, bruh, you might as well be drinking E&J. For real, for real.
Really?
It's really what's the word? It's not distilled, so you get all of that wine, you get all of that sugar, and you just be all fucked up.
Dang, man. Nah. Petty Pendergrass is in the chat. Petty Pendergrass. Oh man. Well, damn, Shakim, man, it's good to really see you over there. Not over there, as if I'm not over there, but it's good to see you in the B sector, really holding it down. Do you watch any of our sector really anymore, or are you just over it?
So the people that I tune into from time to time would be Pills, of course. I was in and out of Pills today. Photon goes live every now and then. I will check in, you know what I'm saying? But I don't watch them heavily. There's like a million Beef Sector lives a day, so it's kind of hard.
That's true. That's true. And you were feeling what I was saying about you, because what I was saying about you was true, and you can't deny the truth. But you weren't really feeling what I was saying about Ness, because you think I'm trying to come in between you guys. I'm not trying to come in between you guys. I just think I see the writing on the wall. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what it is, if that's your honest opinion, then I can't really be mad at that. But it was just the timing of it, like, you know what I'm saying? I think is why I was like, is this nigga trying to make me and Ness like, have an ego thing? So, it's all good though. It's all good.
That's what's up. Like I actually like watching Ness, man. I like watching her show and things like that. I don't think she believes me when I say that, but I actually really do, man. I think she's dope. I just can't stand the way Jay Dunn treats her. You know what I'm saying? That shit drives me insane, bro.
Man, I'm so glad this saga's over. I mean, hopefully it lasts a long time. I think the last time it lasted like 6 months. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm so glad this saga's over, because it was just a lot. It was a lot. And now Ness can't even go live on her main channel because Jay Dunn false flagged her. The irony.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Now, I don't know if you're claiming these flags that happened to Lemon and Jay Dunn. I don't know if you're claiming them or not. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you think if you...
The team is. The team claims
the team.
You gotta have a solid team around you.
So do you think the strike team started all this, and Jay Dunn is just like, I'm gonna end this shit? Y'all started, I finish it.
I guess. I mean, that's one way she could be looking at it. How she described it is, Shakim did this to me, so I did this to y'all. Like, she tries to make Ness a part of it when Ness wasn't a part of it. So to me, if she wanted to end it, she already struck me, right, while I was live. So she struck me while I was live. I struck her while she was live, or the team, did what they did.
The team did what they did.
So we should be good, right? But no, she's not satisfied. She wants more. She wants more. And she's really mad at Ness. It's like she's more mad at Ness than me, if you really think about it.
Right. And I seen this, and I know that you believe that this is true too, but she's mad at Ness because how dare Ness? Ness has the audacity to pretty much choose you over her. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that's what it is, man. She's jealous of you.
Jealous of my relationship with Ness.
Definitely jealous of your relationship.
Just like a lot of people, including, somebody we're not going to mention anymore. But yeah, that person, it's a lot of people jealous of my relationships with people.
Who are we not mentioning? Lemon?
Lemonisha Alizé Jacob. AKA Drew. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, not throwing his gun.
No, that's not his real name. That's not his real name.
I thought it was his real name. That's okay. I don't care. That's just funny, though. Yeah. And then you went old school and you showed that picture when he was crashing out as a teenager. That shit was wild.
Oh, yeah. So, it's a lot of people mad at my relationship with Ness. It's very weird to me because it's like, You can't just force yourself to get cool with somebody. Just do it organically and then let it
Yeah.
fall where it falls. But yeah, she's like really obsessed. I don't want to ever. I'm glad I'm not a lesbian or anything because I mean, that says she the type of broad to make you go back to peen. Like she'll
Damn.
make you switch from being a lesbian to being straight overnight type shit.
What's your relationship with this heat? Y'all cool?
Nah, I would never fuck with this heat because she was on Facebook messaging my sister and like trying to contact
Oh
my brother and shit.
God, I can't
He was doing the
stand that
most.
shit.
And we
God, I
weren't even
can't.
like beefing like that. I didn't even think we was beefing it like that.
That's
And he was
another
at-
jealousy thing. That's another jealousy thing. Molly's in the building. Oh shit, Molly's in the building. Oh hell. You know Molly finna come in here being messy and shit. Yeah, that's another jealousy thing, Shakim. If she's really trying, what she's trying to do is run you off these YouTube streets, saying, "Look, I'm gonna get all up in your shit." She's trying to run you off because you're so close to Ness.
Exactly. But she I mean I guess we made amends. I won't even say amends. We just said, it's dead, right? So I ain't really got no feeling about that person.
Right. You and Ness still talk behind the scenes? Is that something you can answer? Y'all still, are y'all
We
that
don't talk
cool?
about
Or is,
I mean, every now and then, like if it's something we need to talk about, yeah, but I'm not really heavy behind the scenes like that with nobody. Not no
that's
more.
good. That's good.
I learned my lesson, you know what I'm saying? Learned my lesson.
For real. Ugh. What's crazy is I remember going back and forth with Stargate about now this is, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. About me trying to get the AFW a little bit more exposure in the B sector. So that was one thing that I was trying to do. I ain't gonna hold you. And I was going back and forth with Stargate via text about that because I was a little bit upset with Brianna and the remix situation and all that because Brianna and Star couldn't see what I was doing. And so Star kept trying to out me. Like, don't make me show the text messages. Don't make me show the text messages. And I was like, damn, I know I don't be behind the scenes being grimy. You know what I mean? And so I went back the year or however, the year and some change. I went back and I looked at the text messages and it showed that I was actually trying to give the AFW more exposure within the B sector. So that's why I'm glad, bro, I don't go behind the scenes really. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was being like super grimy or whatever, Stargate would have outed me on some text message bullshit.
Man, them text messages would have been plastered all over. You wouldn't have been able to escape those text messages.
No, I would have been done, bro. I would have been cooked, bro. I know Rev G said we good, but thanks. Yeah, I know you good. I know you guys are good, but it was just me trying to level the playing field because that's one thing I can't stand because Shakim, from our sector, the AFW, they're the quote unquote punching bag. Everybody wants to beat up on them. Everybody wants to do that. So I wanted to see what it would look like if we got them in a neutral spot where people could actually, you know what I'm saying, actually see and read what they do just to see. Hammer's here. She probably got something to say about Grandpa Joe. So I wanted to see like what it would be like. You know what I mean? I was really curious because imagine the AFW in our sector in a neutral space going back and forth, brother. Damn, that would be crazy.
Yeah, and that's why I wasn't mad that they was over here. I'm still not really mad that they're over here. You know what I'm saying? They everywhere.
Yep.
Hi, Shakim. Hi, Binary.
Hey,
Hey,
Sean,
what's up?
how you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm fine. I got to get my channel back up. I got for copyright stupid stuff I did.
Here we go.
What?
Here we go with the copyright stuff.
Hide your wife, hide your kids. They getting everybody out here.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to you?
So
Yeah,
I'm
that
the
sucks.
queen. I do stuff, and I like to say I like the show though.
That's what's up. That's what's
I'm
up.
59 next month.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Congratulations.
what's up.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. That's dope. 59,
Well,
huh?
it's bittersweet for me. My husband died right before my birthday, so it's still bittersweet on my part, anyways.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I go to Easter Seals workshop. They gave me a job, so I'm doing good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a fan of ZX, right? You think he's pretty cool, right? Or am I tripping on that?
I like Mr. Z. He helped me through a lot of mess a long time ago.
Right. Like in real life, right?
No, I haven't met him in real life. I just know him on
Oh, on
YouTube.
these YouTube streets. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all. I never really met him because I live in Jersey.
Oh, okay. And have you ever talked to him on the phone by chance?
Nope.
Oh, okay, you're smart. Okay. How has he helped you? I'm just curious to know.
It's a long story,
Oh, okay. All right.
but really thankful for that. He's been with me through the death and everything else I went through.
Mm, okay.
So I just, I have respect for him. He respects me. So I really like Mr. Z. So, I
Okay.
never really knew real life or anything like that. I just know him from YouTube, and that's all.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Have you ever sent him a cash app by chance? I'm just curious.
No,
No? Okay, that's good.
You said hell to the no.
I'm
That's
trying to
good.
try to find a husband of my own, like Big Daddy. So that's what I'm looking for. He's an Italian guy. I knew him from high school. So
Okay.
yeah, but he got out of prison when I met him. When he got out, so he's been well. I did most of the housework, and I was married to him anyways. But I'm trying to just do the right thing for my own self. So if I do find somebody, I hope they respect what I think. That's all.
That's what's up.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
and if you're ever around Hammer Nation, I get my channel back. You and Shakim Ra are officially invited. Okay.
That's what's up. Yep,
Oh
I
yeah, let me
appreciate that.
subscribe to you right now. Hold on.
Yeah, and I always say this. And before I go in the famous words of Captain Murtaugh of Lethal Weapon, I'm getting too old for this shit. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
All right.
I feel like that too. I'm about to be 30. All
All
right, bye,
right.
Queen
We
Hammer Nation. Good to
appreciate
see
you. All right. That's Queen of Hammer Nation. That's what's up. Oh my gosh, bro. Hey, I was fishing, brother. I was fishing.
Right, you went right to the cash shop like shit. Have you ever seen that nigga? She was like, nope.
Which is awesome. Which is awesome because ZX will never help nobody out of the kindness of his heart, bro. That shit ain't happening.
Never.
Somehow he got something out of that shit.
I saw when he clicked Brianna's link this morning to
Ugh. Yeah.
get it in, right? Which was
Yeah.
understandable. But then he tried to cuss out Brianna and then went
Yeah.
live and drug Brianna and started tagging her on his community wall with body mass indexes and shit. I'm like,
Horrible.
this nigga be doing the most, bruh. This nigga
He
be
does, man. He does. He be body shaming her and all that shit. But I mean, when I first came into the B sector, I seen him trying to get with her. I seen him upset because she wouldn't call him her boyfriend or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, brother, come on now. Ain't nobody fucking with you like that, Grandpa Joe.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the reason why people let Glitter Boots on the panel is to watch him put his foot in his mouth, because that's what he does, man. That's what he does. I remember there was a time he was trying to hypnotize your ass, trying to bring you over to the motorcycle club or whatever the hell he got
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
he wanted me
over
to be a rider. Let a nigga rob me. Rob me. Oh yeah. And what was interesting about that time in my YouTube journey was me and Ness had just fell out too. So me and Ness falling out, and then me and you, and then I'm not on the show no more. And he definitely, if that nigga could have been on the show, that nigga would have done everything. He would have gave up his social security check to be on that show every morning. So yeah, when we fell out, he took advantage of that, and that's what he does. Like when people
Exactly.
fall out and shit, he the first one in your corner, the first one that got an opinion. He wants you to come to his channel, all of that shit. So
Fact.
yeah, that shit didn't last long though.
No, it didn't. It didn't. And you did what you typically do. You go over there, you peep out the landscape, and you see it ain't shit, and you'll bounce because you don't force loyalty. Like if you go somewhere and you realize that this shit ain't really for you, you gonna bounce, man. And that's one thing I do respect about you. You know what I mean? Some people can't do that. They think, oh, well, this dude had my back. This dude was in my corner, and they can't see that dude is trying to fuck them over. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Because that's what he kept saying that when I first got over here. He had my back out of everybody against Hoodie. And it's like he probably knew that I really didn't fuck with Hoodie like that, so he tried to take advantage of that shit.
Right.
But all it took was for me to do one thing. He wanted me to drop this lady off of my panel that he had an issue with. I'm like, no, nigga.
Right.
And then he offered me a redirect, and I'm like, I don't need no redirect from you. So Ever since then, it's been up and
Yeah, it's been up and stuck ever since then. Fruits of Labor is here. Thanks for being here. If I missed you, if you came in, shout out to you if you came in. Thank you for rocking with us. If you did not hear the news, I still will be doing the summertime morning show, and maybe it's going to extend past the summer for a little bit, depending on the support. But MBK, as of right now, he's not going to be the co-host. He's tired of this shit. So, so there's that. Oh man, I don't blame NBK. I mean, this Negro's family was plastered all over YouTube, his house, all kinds of shit's been happening. Phone calls have been leaked out, all kinds of things. When him and ZX were supposed to be having a conversation about B sector content creators, he thought he was in a safe space. Those conversations got leaked. I mean, it's just I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
when it came to MBK, the black sector just took full
They went
advantage.
on,
Brought their ass over here, was everywhere about MBK. So I understand what that feels like too. So yeah, I can't really blame him for that shit.
Yeah, Rev G is here. I'm gonna bring Rev G up. Let's go. What
Hello,
up, Rev?
sir. Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Shaquille?
What's good?
Good. Shaquem, how are you, sir?
Thanks for having me, Binary. I'm gonna drop.
Damn. What? It's all right. It's all right. All right. All right, Shakira. What's up, Rev? What's going on?
No,
Was that your master plan? Is that something you wanted to do? Gotta get this Negro off the panel.
no, man. It's all biscuits and gravy with me, man. I'm not trying to head back down those roads.
Right.
Things are looking up, man. Umar Johnson's sector's dead. The ghost of drama.
The ghost of drama. Are you gonna be at the funeral tomorrow?
Nah, I'm good. I'm
You
good.
good on that?
Yeah, I already had a mini wake for him anyway.
I got.
Did you hear my song I made for him, man?
Oh no, I'm at the peep it out. Oh my god, anything that's against drama, I'm for. So I'm a definitely hear you.
I was just singing, "What a fool we had in drama." That was it, man. That was it. But I want to talk about Carrie because the Umar Johnson sector made her into who she was, and it was okay putting jackets on black. Every black man that she had an issue with, she put a label of predator or some kind of harmful thing on them. But I started being mad when I started looking at the hypocrisies. One, she claims to be an atheist, but then she's dropping Bible verses.
Insane, bro.
I mean, where they do that at? And then once she talks about she's pro-black, but then she's dropping anti-black rhetoric.
Facts, bro.
Where they at? Then she talks about she's communist, but she doesn't know any of the theories about communism. I'm not done.
No, keep going.
And then she talks about feminists and feminism, but she doesn't know any of the theories around feminism and feminist leadership.
You preaching.
And don't realize that men can be feminists too.
Right.
And I teach on feminist leadership a little bit. And it doesn't match. Her thoughts of communism doesn't match, her pro-black this, and then the icing on the cake was the whole master's degree thing.
Damn.
She lied about having a master's degree.
That's crazy, man. Anything that makes her look smarter than what she actually is, she will lie about.
Right.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that. And I think what happens is I think she says things just to get people's attention and just to, get eyes and ears on her because, she stepped into, the space talking about how unsafe black men were.
That's true.
And it touches on how she treats black men.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, she thinks that erasing her videos, because, I think this is her second or third channel. She thinks erasing her videos erases all the things that she said but we don't forget shit. Just because you delete a video don't mean you delete what you have said. We all remember how you came into this space, Garfield. We all remember. So you can't hit us with that we're anti-black, because you are the biggest proponent of anti-black in this space.
Right. And I never had a conversation with her. And the first thing I hear is she's saying that if she see me talking to gay kids at her school, she was going to tell the police at her school that I shouldn't be there.
Damn.
And the funny part about it, I bet I can go into Tucker High, and she can't now.
So yesterday, right? Yesterday, and I know you guys have probably already outed this, I just didn't catch it, but yesterday was the first time I realized, because she actually admitted it, that she resigned, because she kept saying, she would always say, like, I didn't lose my job. I didn't lose my job. I didn't lose my job. And then yesterday she was like talking to Yvonne A in the chat, and she was like, resigning is not getting fired. I was like, oh, damn, she resigned.
Well, she resigned after she was transferred out of Tucker High. Because remember, she was saying that she can go back to Tucker and all of that. But no, she was forced to transfer out of Tucker High. And the thing that saved Carrie Ann was, I think it was Shaquem, but Shaquem made that YouTube video and all of that, the YouTube channel showing her students, and the way they presented that audio, it made it sound like she was talking about her children, her students. But the problem is she still said it. See, that's what got her in trouble. But what saved her from the media not putting her name was that the misrepresentation of that video.
You know what? You're right. They did not put her name. You're right.
They did not put her name because the that YouTube channel that somebody made, I don't know if it's Shaquem or not, they made it, and it kind of muddied the water a little bit. See, you don't do stuff like that. You let the facts play for itself.
Right.
But,
right. Damn, but I mean, everybody knew who it was, though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew who it was. So, I mean, she wasn't hiding from anything. Yeah, and the students knew. She wasn't hiding, because once they heard her voice, it was over. It was a wrap.
Right. It was a wrap. Some things saying that I've been saying that she got fired. See, it's a troll move. If you say she got fired, she get all worked up, and then she gets caught in lies. See, I've always said that she was asked to leave Tucker High, and she was placed on 6-month paid leave. You don't get placed on 6-month paid leave and make it seem like it's a thing that
a good thing,
like a good thing.
Like they really have her back. They just got to investigate. Nah, they trying to figure out a way to get rid of your butt. But go ahead, Red.
And they had a hard time because of the union.
Oh, right. Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, that was just that should have been a wake-up call to everybody. But I think the drama thing really changed things now. Now people can't hide behind the
avatars and things like that.
The avatars and do all that.
I think the drama thing kind of woke up, and I know you don't like being associated with the sector. I'm just for the sake of us talking. The drama thing kind of woke up our sector, and they can't be as biased anymore, because all the things that they used to try to, hold our feet to the fire of morality in this, because they keep trying to say, a lot of us are not moral or whatever, and drama making the commandments and all that. He was actually the worst in the sector.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was the one looking up everybody's information. He was the one collecting everybody's stuff. It was like, damn. And that was the person that they were trying to put on a pedestal. You know what I mean? So I think the drama shit actually, for any person that wants to be a content creator within our space, the drama shit actually helped us.
Yeah, I don't know.
It showed us. It showed us that, look, man, I don't care how much support you think you have. When you're just evil like this, you know what I'm saying? When you're just evil like this, the shit's going to come get you.
And that's the sad part about it, because, I've been having with Umar Johnson supporters, and it hasn't been nasty. It's been a way for we both can grow. And just imagine if that was the if that was in the roots of how the Umar Johnson sector started.
Right.
Because the Umar Johnson sector is called the Umar Johnson sector because of the negative traits of Umar that the Umar Johnson sector, did. And I mean, I'm enjoying seeing your growth. I'm enjoying seeing other people's grow. But a little bit of me was like, just imagine if all of that going after people's wives and family didn't happen. Yeah. And that was brought in by the whole TCTV and Ghost. And
he's proud of that, by the way, just so you know.
He's very proud of that. But I mean, the funny part about it was, I thought it was hilarious when Don came out and said that TC's wife made him go get a DoorDash job. That was pretty hilarious. I thought that was pretty funny, man.
Oh, I can't wait to be on the same panel with Ghost now. I did not know that information.
Don gave all that information. Don was like, he's in the rears. He's in the rears when it comes to child support all that. So now Don gave all that information out.
Listen, shout out to anybody that does DoorDash, but when you on YouTube claiming to be a boss, I'm sorry, that shit ain't it.
But I appreciate you having me on. You can come by anytime, man.
That's what's up.
I truly appreciate it. We're doing some new different things, man. We had a great interview with Anissa.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
it was really good, and y'all pray for her. She's going through with all this mess, but we're gonna have her on some more, and she's gonna be like, we're gonna talk more about the queer community, and then and
is she part of that? Is she part of that community?
Yeah, I think she came out and talked about it. So she's she shared her own story. So
okay. That's what's up.
Oh yeah, so I'm really happy about how that went, and I'm happy that a lot of people were in their feelings.
They couldn't stand that you got the interview. I know that. That.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. Seeing everybody get all worked up. I enjoyed it.
Funny. That was funny, bro.
I enjoy it. And I'm enjoying that, probably just going crazy ham in the chat. I love that too. I love that. I love being irrelevant, but having so much space in their heads. So
yeah,
much.
man. Yeah. One thing I can say about you is, you have events, like huge moments. You know what I mean? So, occasionally you'll go live, and you're talking to your family, like your crew, your people, talking to your family, talking to your family, talking to your family. Then boom, you have this moment of watch what's finna happen to Carrie moment. Watch what's finna happen here. Watch what's finna happen here. And you have those moments that are undeniable. And I think that Umar Daughter's interview was another one of those things that people could not deny that was your thing. You did that shit.
Right. And I love it because we got to see another side of Anissa. And then we also got to grow the channel too and made some new friends.
Yeah.
People with 30 to 40,000 subscribers, that and you don't have to kiss ass or try to harm people. You just get out there and make content.
Yeah. Because there are Umar people. There are people that don't approve of Umar. That's not even in the Umar space. That has tons of subscribers. Go ahead, brother. I think I cut you off.
No. I'm listening. Yeah, there's so many people, and there's people who support him that are not trying to cut your neck off.
Exactly.
Not calling your or harassing your employer. Even to this, harassing your employer so much, your employer told him to stop. Share with you. That kind of stuff. And it's like, where the hell did this come from? Or trying to send a reporter on you, or file a report because you file a report on them, defrauding Charlton. And stuff like that happens. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I haven't seen defrauding in a minute, bro. Maybe he's around. but I haven't seen him in a minute. And when y'all kind of outed him, I did see he went a whole different direction. Now he was dropping some vague threats, like one of those wait and see type things. But I've been waiting and I've been watching, and nothing, bro. Even up to this day,
he wasn't out. I was able to report him. Still haven't put his name out there or anything. But he was going. That's the thing. When you cross those lines, don't be mad when people tell you and warn you, leave me alone. And you keep on doing that crazy, weird ass stuff. And so, after I reported him, he tried to report me. He tried to say that I dodged him and all that. And the report was, no, there was no signs of dox. There's no signs of doxing.
Now, my thought is, who is he going to report you to? Because it's easy to report him. And I'm not siding with anybody. I'm just trying to see the logic. Like, your job is not like his job. So who in the world is he reporting? Like, to you? Like, what is he doing? Who is he reporting to?
At the time, I was teaching at a community college, and he filed a discrimination. He filed one of those reports. And they didn't find any of that stuff that he was talking about. And so these folks are still trying at my current job, but the smartest thing you can ever do is to be up front.
Exactly. Facts.
And I made that documentary about all the stuff I went through. It's called After the Smoke Cleared. And I shared it with my my VP, that's over the dean and all of that. And I shared it with him. He watched it. And he was like, why are these people calling us? He was like, do you know a Cher Whitty? And I was like, damn. Yeah, she sent an email to the president of the university. And he told her to stop harassing his staff. Man. That's the kind of stuff these people are doing. And they keep saying, oh, it's the AFW, it's the AFW. No, this is what they're doing. If I do it, it's the retaliation.
Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. And I've been saying this, but I just don't think that people believe me. When my job was contacted, it was warranted because I was out here being stupid, right? So it was almost a blessing in disguise. And I know people don't think that I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the honest to God truth because the shit was warranted. The profession that I was in, it does not allow for me to be the way that I was. So I didn't really know that because I had gotten bad information. So I didn't know that. And so when I was wilding out, and then I had gotten drug into the HR and I realized that I can't be doing this. I switched up my shit quick. You know what I mean? And so that's why people, they don't realize, because when they keep saying like, you know, these people are calling jobs and they're doing this, but they did that to you too, Binary. Yeah, but they had the right to do that to me, and they don't want to hear that shit. I know you did. I'm just saying whoever. I'm not putting no names on it. Whoever did it had the right to do that, right? But now, if it happens now, if people find out where I work now and it happens now, they don't have the right to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know exactly what I'm doing on these YouTube streets now. But when it did happen, I'm glad it happened because it woke my ass up. For some people, they're stupid and they be believing people on YouTube thinking that ain't shit gonna happen to them, and they don't change and they continue in that same damn behavior, and then they have to resign. Just saying. And
Dempsey, that's another one too. I won't give all the details, but he lying to people. He's on the verge of losing his career. He got reprimanded for his behavior just a few months ago when he was all silent.
What? Oh,
yeah.
This is news to me. Oh, damn.
I won't tell you the organization. I won't say that, but I did my video. I was at a conference, and it was a counseling conference, and I was like, this is where D. Durrell probably should be. And I don't think he can ever even go to those until he got to take classes and all kind of stuff because of his bad behavior online.
You said this was a month ago?
No, a few months ago.
A few months ago? Well, I mean, damn.
Yeah, remember he was silent for a while because he was telling people.
You remember that?
he's going through some things, some offline things, and he have to get a lawyer and all of that, and all this other stuff. That's what he was going through. And thank you, AAS and AFW. And he still don't learn his lesson. I mean, the whole BBL thing. Yeah, if I got a BBL, if I got titties, if I got thighs, they ain't for you, nigga. This dude lusting over me, man. I'm like, that's nasty. Calling me a power bottom for Umar. But he was the one. He's the one that said that me and Lennon, the reason why we were going after Umar was because we were attracted to Umar. And then he goes in on why we would be attracted to Umar. He was like, well, they would be attracted to him because, he's tall and he's kind of fit and he's smart. I'm like, what? And Flacco was like, oh, no, man, no, foul. And I was like, and of course, Tip Griff was like, yeah, you're right. Because she felt like that way. But, I mean, if you're going to tell me somebody else is attracted to Umar, then you give all the characteristics. That's kind of saying something.
Oh, shit.
Who's this? Who's coming up?
Oh, nobody's coming up. I'm saying what you're saying. I'm just saying, oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
oh, damn.
I'm really like, every time I hear him talk about the BBL and my hips and I got titties, I'm just like, my eyes are up here, man. But my eyes are right here. I don't even
stop checking me out.
You've been doing this for so long, man. You feel kind of, you feel violated, and you're like, why is this dude doing this? He keeps saying everybody, and that's the problem with the Umar Johnson sector. Y'all don't call out the weirdness of that kind of stuff. He made a whole song called Snacky Snacks talking about gay sex with Kip and Shaquem. And nobody seen a problem with that.
Snacky Snack.
Nobody. And he was so happy, man. He sung all the vocals. He sung all the vocals. And then and I saw a little bit of his live the other night. I saw it this morning. He had a part where he was sitting in the bedroom. It was an empty bed. It was at night. He was talking about, I know you watching this, Rev G. You probably ain't got nothing to do. And I'm like, man, you sitting in an empty bedroom. I'm chilling out with my family at that same time. And you can tell nobody else is in that bedroom but him because it's all dusty. You can see all the dust on the table. You can see one side of the bed is made, one is not. It's so cold in that house. I mean, that's the problem, man. I mean, what he needs to do is fill up his prescription up, grab his pump, you know what I'm talking about, make up with Tiff P, and then he can stop lusting after me. Well, maybe that's just what I better stop, man. Let me stop.
Man, if he hears this, he gonna go off, bro.
He gonna go off and do what? He gonna go off and do what?
He gonna hit the live. He gonna hit the go live.
Make another live video, show him the picture with fat me talking about my titties and my hips. Make sure you know where his hands are when he's doing his live stream. And tell him to stop drinking.
Is he drinking a lot now?
Yeah. My new song is called "Nigga Can't Keep His Head Up," and I'm singing the song, and the video is showing him like talking about me in slow motion, and he's like wobbling back and forth, about to pass out. Life is bad. He lost a lot of weight. Now the paninis on the side of his face look like half paninis. So
I think Dieterell's gonna try to kick my ass for laughing at all this shit.
Laugh at it. It's all good, man. Because if it was on the other foot, you'd be laughing at me.
Yeah, you're right. I don't.
You even set me up that one time with
Lord. Oh, Lord. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, bro.
You set me up in the chat. You're like, "Oh, did you see that?" And I'm like,
I apologize.
No, I was like, "Wait a minute, I just got set up." Yeah. Did you? Oh man, I was like, "Is that really her?" He's like, "Yeah, it is." Wow, did you see? I'm like, then I go back and I'm like, "Man, this dude just set me up." He set me up, but that was a good thing. I'm glad that happened because these people get on this online and they want to threaten people and think, take all this
and
stuff.
you got it all recorded.
We got it all recorded. Every ounce of it, got it all recorded. That's the thing. But
man,
let me get out of here before I start telling unfunny jokes. So I appreciate you, man.
All right, big dog. I appreciate you.
Take care. Peace.
You too, Rev.
All right, bye.
Oh man, it's stuff like that that's gonna get my ass in trouble. Shit like that is going to get me in trouble, because I'm telling you, I am not going to hide what I think is entertaining. I'm not going to hide it. I am not going to show fake faces. I'm not going to do it. If I really think something is entertaining, I'm going to be man enough to laugh at the shit. I'm going to be man enough to say that shit is funny. I'm not going to, like, the cool thing about me, and let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it 100. Let me keep it a bing. The cool thing about me now is I make a shit ton of money. Look, man. Look. God, as far as finances go, God has been extremely good to me and my family. Extremely good to me and my family. And I had to sacrifice. I had to, in my family, we had to sacrifice for the greater good. Where we're at right now as a family, this was something we've had on our radar for a very long time. And we are now enjoying the fruits of our labor. So I don't have to do shit for money. Hold on. Oh, my sister in Christ is here. What's up?
Brother in Christ. Listen, I don't know at all about, I don't do education law. I don't really, I don't know all the ins and outs except what I read in the Georgia Education Code and what I read in the Texas Education Code. But
okay.
It's getting fired. It's being transferred to another campus the same as being fired.
Transferred, no, but resigning, most of the time in education, when you resign, it's because they presented an option. Resignation is really not really what it's about. In education, if a teacher's really, really fed up and you look at the board notes or whatever, the meeting notes or whatever, and the teacher's really fed up and they quit, they would say that teacher abandoned their job. But if you if you see resignation, that means that they were presented an ultimatum pretty much. Either resign or be fired. Go ahead.
Is that something, have we seen the board notes on this? Like, do we have any, like, would she be saying something and then, like, the board notes would reflect something else? Or is that just, like, a standard across the board? Like, everybody would be using the word resigned if she really resigned? Like, would she be saying abandoned, or would they be saying abandoned, and we just need to get the notes on that?
She wouldn't say abandoned. She would probably say, I quit. I left them mother effers behind. But last night in the chat, I seen her talking to Yvonne A., and she actually admitted that she resigned. And, you know, as educators, we know what that means. She knows what that means.
Okay. So you're basically just saying because she's using the word resigned, like there's a connotation to that, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she knows exactly that's what that means. Like if I was her, knowing that she is in a sector full of educators, I'm not the only one. She's not the only one. There's tons of educators in this sector. She should have said, I just quit.
Okay.
Or she should have stuck with, I got transferred and I still have a job. She shouldn't have admitted that she resigned. That's all.
Okay. Okay. But so I guess what we're going on is the connotation of resignation again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But we don't actually have any of the like documents or anything showing that this is like she was forced or anything. Okay. No. And so I just, because the AFW story about this has changed a few times, and they are now down to admitting that the most they could ever prove is that she was transferred. They used to say like loud and proud that she got fired. And then yeah, first, Mr. Palmer admitted in a live stream he did about Carrie that maybe she didn't get fired, but she was on the news, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the recent video Anti-Afro did about her, she was talking about how like they're going to fight this all the way to the Georgia Board of Education, which means that she didn't get disciplined at the school board level. And so, because that's sort of a implicit admission. If you're going to have to fight it all the way to the Georgia Board of Education, that means that you lost at the school board level, at least from where I'm reading the Georgia Education Code. And so that's like an appellate move by the complainant. So I'm just wondering, like, because Palmer came in here today in this very chat today saying she was fired. And then when I asked him, like, you admitted that that's not true. Then he said, well, she had to change campuses. She got transferred to another school. That's basically being fired, but it's really not, right?
No, it's not, because
Yeah.
when I was working in the school district I used to work in, I actually requested a transfer from a school to a school, and I went to a different school. So you could be
Okay.
like, now if she went to a whole different district, which I doubt, but if she did go to a
I
whole
don't think she
different
did.
district, you can kind
Yeah.
of look at it, because a transfer, you can't transfer from a district to a district. That's weird.
Right.
You can't do that. So
Right.
yeah, so she transferred. But the thing is last night, I don't know if it was a Freudian slip. I don't know what it was in that chat, but she admitted that she resigned. So I mean, if she didn't want to give them firepower, she sure enough did last night.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
I understand. Like, I get that. I guess in the lawyer world is different, because when you quit, you resign. It's like one of the same, basically.
Right. That's just, and one thing Rev G did say that made tons of sense is there is a teachers union, and that's just one of the ways where they can have her save a little face. That's why they give most teachers get that option, because one, the school district doesn't want to pay that unemployment, and two, they want teachers to redeem themselves if they did something stupid, so they're not going to have that mark on them that they got terminated. So resigning just seems a little better, but it's you are presented with that ultimatum: either resign or we're firing you.
And at what point would that happen? Like, after all the proceedings are over and the school district decides not to take action, or like, would it happen
I think
concurrently?
it probably happens once the pressure does reach the state department. You know what I mean? Whatever state you're in, the GDE, if that's what it's called, the Georgia Department of Education. I think that's when it happens, whenever the district realizes this is out of their control. Because I think YM was a person that stated this in a chat a long time ago. School districts are not trying to lose teachers.
Sure.
It's real hard to find teachers, right? So they're going to try their hardest to keep a teacher, which is why they put her on administrative leave for those months to figure out, do we have an option to be able to keep this teacher? Because if this teacher goes, we have to replace the teacher. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find teachers. And so, but then once it gets so bad, and if people keep on doing what they're doing and keep saying, hey, what has happened? And they keep inquiring and they keep doing this, like, what was the disciplinary actions? They look into it even more. Because what happened to me was, initially when the complaints started coming to me, my actual school that I used to work at reached out to me, right?
Okay.
And nothing really happened to me then. Then the board came to me, HR came to me. A little bit happened, but not too much. But then the lawyers got involved. And I think whenever the lawyers get involved, and that's probably what happened, and that takes time, right? Like, it's not just going to happen overnight.
And the lawyers for what? At what stage of the process? Was this
the district? So it went from my school, not saying really too much, just like, hey, you got some people that are doing this, and then my district saying, hey, we got a lot of complaints coming in. This is what they're saying. And then when I guess a couple of more complaints came in, I think when the school district knew that this was going to be a quote unquote problem or whatever, and they want to cover their ass, that's when the lawyers came in, because they were looking at me like, oh, this shit is not going away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's when the lawyers and all that. So first off, it was bad when I had to sit in front of HR. Then it was real bad when I had to sit in front of HR and lawyers and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
To try to figure it out. Now, I'm thinking when it got to the lawyer part of Carrie Ann's thing, when they were like, damn, she's on the news, this shit's happening, they didn't think it was worth keeping her.
Right. Right, but you think? I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying that makes sense. I'm not saying I agree with that's what happened, but I agree that makes sense to a certain extent. But I also think that because Anti keeps saying like she has said some things about how they're going to make sure that the school has done everything they're supposed to do to make sure this continues to go to the actual Board of Education, which means that from what I'm reading in the code, that's an appellate step by the complainant, basically saying like we've lost at the school district level. They did not take any action. They did not discipline her, and so we are going to appeal their decision up to the Board of Education, and the school district at that point has to send all of their fact findings, all the work they did to show why they did take action up to the next level, right? And I don't know, I guess it's a pain, but still at the same time, like, what would how would the school board or would the school district would they be penalized if like they wanted if the AFW wanted the Board of Education level, like the state level?
Right. So it wasn't as if like, oh, we lost at the school district level. It was like it seems like the district ain't doing shit. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
they made a decision not to.
yeah, it was like holding their feet to the fire. Like we're not just some Johnny come lately. We're
Well,
requesting these things, we're complaining about these things, and we want to know what actions, if any, took place. And when they weren't getting responses, they had to go to the next level. And then what that did, because believe it or not, some school districts, they're just lazy as shit. They probably
well,
got these complaints and probably thought they weren't nothing. And then
you,
so the pressure had to go onto that school district to actually truly look into what's being complained about. Go ahead.
well, the issue though is that these things have to like how do I explain this? There has to be the complaints have to start at a level where there could be a fact finding, like a hearing where testimony could be developed, the facts could be investigated. That
Hmm.
only has to happen at the primary level where the complaints are submitted, right?
Right.
Because the complainant can't just go to the next step and be like, well, they didn't do anything, so we want y'all to do the fact finding and the investigation. Because the next step is going to say no, like the local body is responsible for the fact finding and investigation. They
Right,
have
but
to
I'm
do
not.
that.
I'm letting you know that some school districts they don't take it that far. They think that people are just going to come in, complain, and just go about their day. And what I'm saying
Right.
is, we can tell that whoever did these complaints, I don't want to throw no names out there. You can, but I'm not going to throw no names out there. Whoever did these complaints, they weren't satisfied with the school district on whatever level they looked into it, if they even looked into it at all. And so
Well,
they are afforded the right to go to
yeah. Oh,
GDE and say, hey, can y'all look into this? Because I don't even think they're doing anything.
well, I get that might be the opinion, that might be the perception that they're not doing anything, but they had to at least have arrived at a decision in order for there to be something to appeal.
Right, right. And there probably was nothing because they probably didn't do any type of investigation. And
Okay,
so
so you're just
Carrie not only effed herself up, she may have effed up the laziness of her school district. And then, which is why the ultimatum probably came, because she made them look really, really bad.
okay. So I guess how do I say this? So basically, when you say they didn't do anything, it means that they didn't do a very good investigative process, and then
If
like
if they
they made a
investigated
decision
it
based
at
on
all.
nothing.
Exactly. If they
Okay,
even investigated it at all.
but they came to a decision just sort of based on nothing, and then they cleared her. Then that's kind of what is actually
Right.
going
And
to be appealed.
she probably thought she was gonna, skate through this because nothing was happening. But one thing that I do know about, the complainants, one thing that I do know is they will take it to a level until they figure out what the hell happened. Because it happened to me.
Right. Okay. I mean, I get that. I get that. I just think that like it's sort of a mischaracterization to say the school district did nothing because they, regardless of what their internal process was as far as developing the facts, they had to have come to a decision at some point in order for there to be something to appeal.
I see what you're saying. Now, are you
Yeah.
upset if the school district came? Okay, I just want to lay out two things and then I'm asking you the question. The first thing
Okay.
is, in my humble opinion, I don't think the school district did shit in the beginning, because sometimes it's just like that. It's just the way it is, because people
Okay.
complain about teachers all the time, whatever,
Sure.
and they don't really
Oh, I get
follow
that.
through. Right. So
Right.
I think, in my humble opinion, I think that's what happened. Right.
Okay.
However, let's just say that the school district did discipline her, right? But was like, we're just gonna, suspend her for 1 day or whatever. And then let's say the complainants reached out and was like, so what happened? And they were like, whoop-de-whoop, here's what happened. And they were like, that's it? That's all that happened? Okay, let's see what Georgia Department of Education has to say about the discipline that you guys gave this person. And let's see if it's fair. You know what I mean? What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm not saying that there's anything inherently wrong with that. I'm saying that the complaints themselves are misguided. I will say that. But the actual, asking for it to be further investigated or further reviewed, I don't think is necessarily. I don't have any problem with that. I'm not sure that that's allowed though, because I think if the district themselves come to some sort of disciplinary action, then essentially you've won. And so at that point, I think it's over.
And you know what? I'm going to agree with you on that. And the reason why I'm going to agree with you on that, because I'm telling you, I don't think they came to any conclusion. I don't think they came to any okay, this is the actions we took. I really don't. Now,
but do they have to take an action?
Yeah.
Do they? But can they say we have no basis on which to take an action, therefore we're not going to take an action?
Sure, they can do that too, but clearly they had basis. Clearly, it's clear.
But as far as internal procedure, I guess could they do both of these things? Could they transfer her to another district until the process was over?
Not to another district, to another school.
I'm sorry, another school. I actually was helping them. You're right, to another school. And then at the same time, the process is essentially done when they've decided not to take any official action. Would a transfer to another campus be considered an official action? Is that disciplinary?
I don't know. Something she did. Okay, we're going to stick with the truth, right? She did something to where her school district was not pleased or whatever, or even the Department of Education of the state that she's in, whoever, somebody wasn't pleased. So she did something to where disciplinary had to have happened. So even if the school district, for whatever reason, was like, we're just going to let this slide, the Department of Education was like, heck no, you cannot let this slide. Now, Spottom's saying, y'all believe...
I don't think it's already...
Go ahead. Go ahead, Steph.
No, I guess I'm getting... I'm wondering if we're sort of talking across each other. Why do you think the school district took action against her outside of transferring her to another campus?
Remember, I started this by saying I think the school district was negligent in the whole thing until the pressure was turned up on them. They're not trying to deal with shit like this. They got so many things to deal with, and they were just hoping this shit was getting swept under the rug. But whoever was applying the pressure made sure that was not the case. I.e., news media's going above the district, all that shit. You know what I mean? And that's just my humble opinion.
Okay.
So I don't think that they did any disciplinary action. Because let me just say this. My school district did do disciplinary action, and it stopped right there.
Okay. No, that's what I'm saying. It's I think we're kind of jumping around from did they take disciplinary action in a small way, and that's what I don't know. I guess I'm confused by you saying that the school district didn't do anything, but that also implied that they did, or not implied, but I mean, I guess. Just to put it clearly, do you think they took action or not?
I don't think they did, which is why if somebody had to go to GDE, that's what really, really lit the fire. Because, man, you're used to running your school district on a school district level, on a state level. You're used to running it the way that you run it. I mean, not on a state level, on a, just within your school district. But then your higher ups, who's normally not on the scene on shit like this, all of a sudden they're emailing you and they're asking about this person. Now you're really going to look into it. That's all.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple of people in the chat saying, why do we believe that she actually resigned just because she said so? It's good language. I mean, she could be playing around saying she resigned. I don't know, but it's great language. As a teacher, it's real believable. It is really believable because when you are faced, even though I haven't been faced with this, but I know about it because a lot of people that I know that are teachers have been faced with this, and they let me know. When you're faced with this, they make resigning feel like it's some kind of like higher road, like
Right.
yeah, like and you can get more jobs and you can get this. But let me tell you, other school districts, when they see that you resign from another school district, they're going to ask you questions because they know exactly what that shit means.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not familiar enough with that to like, I mean, I get what you're saying, like, the connotation of it. But I don't think like I I guess I'm confused as to if you think like she was asked to resign because the Department of Education was like calling down to the school district. Um, like, do you think that's why? Do you think that the state level like told the district
Now,
to do something about it?
I'm getting this information from you. I don't even know if they reached out to GDE. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
If they did,
I
then what you just said, yes, that's how I think. That's how I see it.
okay. So the way that the procedure goes, from what I read in the Georgia Education Code, is that the school district finishes their fact finding, the investigation. They develop all those facts, right? So that's like a trial, like a trial at the like the first round where they find like in the criminal level, like they find or the criminal system, they find you guilty or innocent, right? At that or
Okay.
guilty or not guilty at that level, right?
Mm-hmm.
They depend on that court that heard the trial to develop all those facts, to have all that in the record, as we call it. And when you go to an appeal, if like the defendant loses, right, and they're going to appeal their conviction, you don't go to the appellate court and like hash all that out again, right? You take what was developed in the trial court and you send it up to the appellate level and say, this is what we did. This is why he got found guilty, and then like the appellate attorney is going to be like, yeah, but these errors were made and this is why you need to reverse it, right?
Right.
But
Now, I'm
like
agreeing with you. Like, what if that did happen? I'm agreeing with you, but my question to you is, so what? What if that did happen? What if like her school found no fault or whatever, and the complainants were like, how can y'all not find fault? And they went above their heads, and then some shit really did happen. Like, I don't really see anything wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that either, except that Anti and Ramjee's whole narrative is that they're waiting on something to hear something. Like they're hoping that the school board actually did what they were supposed to do and sent the record up for review, and they don't know if anything happened or not. So I'm just saying, like, I think like this whole narrative is sort of falling apart, because they kept saying like the disciplined teacher, the fired teacher, the suspended teacher, and I think she had to be administratively suspended while the complaint was pending at the school board level, right? The school district level.
Right. So
administrative leave or whatever it's called.
The way they're speaking on it could be falling apart, but the narrative hasn't fallen apart because she admitted yesterday that she resigned. So her not having that job is a reality.
Okay, but like getting to that point is different than the way they're making it out to be, correct?
Okay, but at the end of the day, she lost her job over YouTube. That's just cut and paste. Cut, paste, dry. It's just she lost her job over YouTube, and that's dumb. That's just dumb. Would you agree with that?
If that's what happened, sure. But I think at this point, like, no, and what I'm saying is, like, I'm relying on you to say, like, that's the connotation of resigning. But I think, like, I don't know that I feel comfortable, like, ending the conversation based on the connotation, what you're saying. That's just me. I think, like, I would need to conclusively say anything. But I get what you're saying. I get your point. And I understand you know a lot more about that than I do. But I just feel like until like there's some further reinforcement of that conclusory sort of based on the connotation of resigning, I don't know that I can come to this like definitive conclusion. That's all.
Understood. And one is, you don't like the complainant. So everybody knows that's clear. So even when things are presented to you like super, black and white, you will still try to figure out some red space in it, like with the drama stuff and now this Carrie stuff. Now Carrie could be Carrie, because I'm seeing Spotterman, I'm seeing YM in the chat saying that Carrie could be saying all this and knowing the right words to say just to get people to leave her alone, and she could probably still have her job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're saying that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she could be that could be exactly it. Or, she, none of this could have happened, and this could be going down the exact same way that it went down with you, which is an entire troll move that you did in a conspiracy. You did in a what's the word I'm trying to use? Did it conjunction with the AFW. I mean, we all know that what happened, like you say happened to you, did not happen to you. This is all a story that you made up with Anti to like troll the entire sector about how Anti got into trouble. And we know Anti didn't get you in trouble. We know you never even got into trouble. You just trolled us. You just
No, I
trolled
did
us
get
to
in. I
reinforce the
did get in
AFW's
trouble.
authority.
I did get in trouble. It's a real thing. Lord
you
help me.
didn't.
I did. I did. I know you don't believe me, but I did. And I'm pretty sure when the complainants, when they reached out and they seen that this Negro got disciplined, they were happy and they didn't have to go to ADE because they were freaking happy that, I probably got disciplined. And I know you don't believe me, but I got disciplined rightfully so. I should not have been saying the dumb shit that I was saying. Like, I shouldn't have been doing that.
Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing, my guy. Like, I did not support like any sort of official proceedings. I didn't support that, but I will be the first person to say, like, I think you said things that were much more charged and much more like serious than Carrie ever did.
Oh, that hurts. Stop.
I'm
That
sorry.
is not true. But okay,
Because
I'll let you have it.
I don't think in the context of what she said, I don't agree with the narrative that she said all this stuff about black men. I don't like. I heard like the surrounding conversation, and I think there's a lot of context that goes into like her arguments, and I don't think it's necessarily fair to just take like a few sentences out of the entire conversation. I think that really, I know people say like that whole like you took it out of context gets misused. I get that, but I think in this instance it really is.
But you can't take F them kids. I don't care. I'm on my phone. They can do what they want. You can't take that out of context.
Well, but here's the thing, right? Like she was speaking to adults, right? And I don't know. I think
on the clock, but go ahead. I've never been on the clock and on YouTube. Go ahead. Yeah, she was on the clock. Yeah, Photon exposed all that. She was on the clock. You don't remember that part? He was like, shouldn't you be teaching? She's like, they all right. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah,
okay, but that wasn't the same. That wasn't the same transaction. That wasn't the same conversation where she said F them kids, right? Because she was talking about Britney Spears.
No. She said those kids would be all right. But the F them kids, I think, was more towards Stargates. And that's what Rev G actually
came up here.
Oh, breaking. That's right. Rev G actually came up here and cleared that up. He actually admitted that. You know what I mean? And said, that kind of hurt the case because of whoever spliced that thing up, which is why they couldn't put her name in anything when the news hit. Yeah, so yeah.
Because now it's all Shaw Kim's fault that she didn't get fired, not them. Not them. They're blaming it all on Shaw Kim.
But I don't think I honestly believe her because I don't know if she knew that people were reading her back and forth with Ivane. I don't know why she would do that, but I believed her when she said, her resigning is not her being fired. I believe that. Yeah. I believed it when she said that.
Yeah.
It's great teacher language, and I bet you she probably felt like she was smart when she said that. Yeah. Forgetting that there's tons of teachers in the sector that knows exactly what that means. Rev G being one of them.
She also has Rev G ever taught at like a government controlled K through 12 level? Because like an education code doesn't apply to like,
I don't know, but he's a teacher, so I'm pretty sure he'll know the process. So he knows exactly what I resign means. So I know he knows what that means.
Well, I could say a lot. I'm not going to. I'm not Stephanie. Stephanie, oh, Holy Spirit, help me! I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna be nice today.
Something has to be grossly bad if a school district truly does get rid of a teacher. Something has to be something really bad has to happen because I told you there's a shortage of teachers. They're wanting to keep the teachers. So for her being presented with that ultimatum, she did something. They can deem that as really, really, really bad. Really bad.
Or how do I say this? I think I think I don't know. I don't want to bore your audience with the back and forth about the Georgia code, but like I think they could have saved her, not gotten it appealed, and saved her from getting fired. Like if they had given her like a 1-day suspension, that there would have been no appellate rights, and they could have kept her. So why did they just do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they were lazy.
Yeah, because
that's why I have that theory that they didn't do shit. I'm telling you.
they were lazy. They were lazy to the point where they wanted to get rid of her, so they gave her an option to resign. They
didn't think the pressure was gonna amount. I'm telling you, like it, like
but they felt like they needed to ask her to resign, so they must have some sort of pressure.
The type of teacher that I used to be, it was more paperwork than it was teaching, right? So if an extra thing of paperwork came my way, I would lose my mind. Like I knew I had to do it, but it's just like, I'm telling you, these school districts, they are just bogged down with paperwork. They probably thought this shit was gonna go away. Go ahead.
So, okay, but I'm telling you, it has not gotten to the Georgia Department of Education level because Anti keeps saying that when it gets there, they're going to have a lot to do. They're going to have a lot of work to do. It hasn't gotten to that level yet.
Right, because they probably weren't getting no responses from the district.
But okay,
I remember somebody. I'm not going to say anything about the complainants that hit my way, but I remember somebody. I'm not going to say any names, but I remember somebody saying, "If we don't find out what's going on with B code, we are going to ADE." They said that. But the thing is it's a process, though, right?
Exactly.
So I'm pretty sure, because I know I was disciplined. I don't care what Spotum says or anybody else says. I know I felt the pain of my discipline. So I know. I don't care what you say, Stephanie. I was disciplined and it hurt. That's all I gotta say.
So why didn't you give them the option to resign if it was that bad? If the pressure was that bad, why didn't they give you an option to resign?
I don't know. Maybe I'm worth more.
Okay, there you go. Yo, okay. Now we get the truth. Okay.
Maybe that's the truth. I don't know. Maybe I'm worth more. Maybe they were like, how can we keep this Negro? I don't know.
I mean, you call me biased. You call me biased,
that's
Brother
not
Christ.
Being biased.
That's telling the honest to God
truth. I'm telling the honest to God truth.
You've been wanting to say that the whole time.
They could have hit me with that. They didn't. Right? Maybe they thought like what I did, they can overcome that as a district. I don't know. I have no idea. You've been
saying this whole time that they don't want to they need more bodies in the classroom. So why not just take the
I'm just saying they need teachers in the classroom. They heard that my district isn't like Carrie's district. My district, if you complain, they're going to look into the complaints right away. But it still takes a process, even though they're going to look into it right away. There's still a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? And whoever complained against me, it probably wasn't happening as fast as they wanted to happen, but it actually ended up happening. You know, Carrie's district probably didn't. I mean, it is what it is. They were probably like, I ain't trying to deal with this bullshit.
But that's a big assumption to make, because then if they don't follow the rules, if they don't have a record to send up should it get appealed, like then they're risking a bunch, right? They're risking like a district level. Their whole district getting slapped around a little bit.
Yeah. Here comes the ultimatum.
But the ultimatum wouldn't have come from the Georgia Department of Education yet.
The Georgia Department of Education's involvement probably lit a fire under the school district, and the school district hit her with the ultimatum. That's all I'm saying. That's my thoughts. I could be wrong.
The timing of that doesn't make sense, though.
So you don't think? So you still think she works there?
No.
No. What do you think?
What I'm saying is, like, I don't think the conclusion has anything to do with the timing not being right, because of what, like, the timing of how, like, the way Anti's talking about this now is that the Georgia Department of Education hasn't even gotten involved.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't base it off of their timelines, right? Because, I mean, some people were trying to speed up my discipline or whatever. But they move at their own pace. You know what I mean? They don't care about, what people want to see. And so I guess eventually some people seen that my district really did do some shit. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Now, YM wants to know what that discipline was. I really don't want to speak on my discipline. I really don't.
It was
just know that
I guess.
Huh?
it was something to keep you at the school, I guess, because they didn't ask you to resign because,
Right,
Brother
because
Christ
it
over
was.
here is Billy Badass.
I think it was fair based on all the stupid stuff that I was doing on YouTube. I think it was fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, you could have saved yourself if you hadn't gone to the, well, you know what you said. You know what you said that was the kicker.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
hadn't gone
Yeah.
there,
I mean, no,
yeah.
no. Remember, it was a lot of things. And another
Yeah.
thing that saved me was actually having real waivers. And I know people don't believe that I had real waivers for my Instagram, but I actually did,
Oh,
and a lot of
yeah.
teachers do. So that saved me, right?
Oh, no,
Like
I
being
never
able
even,
to being able to
I never
present
even
that.
really bought that you were going to get in any trouble for that. I believed you that you had
No,
waivers.
if I
that.
didn't have waivers, I would have been screwed. Especially the amount of pressure that I was under on that. Like if I didn't have those parent signatures, I would have been screwed. I mean,
Yeah.
royally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think my Uncle Billy could have called up there drunk and told them you had kids on your Instagram, and if you didn't have the waivers, you would have been in trouble.
I mean, people forget that Shaquem called up there like he was a concerned parent. Remember? Nah. He's using my government, and I don't know if it's safe that he's having these kids on the internet. I was like, damn, Shaquem. Shit. Yeah, so that saved me. So I know you guys think that my speech was the worst, but what was the worst was those kids. That was the worst, man. That was the worst. That's really what they were heavily concerned with.
But if you had waivers, then what was the? I don't know. You don't have to
but you still got to go through that process. You still got to go through that process. And I would explain a little bit more, but I'm not going to throw that out there into the universe, and people will start eating it up of why it was nasty on my end, like why I got my hand slapped really hard because of that. Even though I had waivers, there's something more to it. And I know that there's teachers, if there's teachers that are listening, they probably know why. But
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Mm-hmm.
So I know you're probably thinking it's all based off of the dumb comments I was making. No, that was part of it. And believe it or not, it was based off of comments I was making towards Smoke's wife as well. But they had issues with that. But I'm telling you, it was the students, man. That's really what. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they complain about that? Was that also part of their complaint, or was that something they found? Okay.
No, they complained. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep. What's the issue? Let me ask you this. Maybe you won't answer. Don't feel pressured to answer this. I'll ask you Gory. But did they? Was the thing they complained about the thing that the school district actually had the problem with?
Yeah. Everything they complained about, the school district had a problem with. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So they didn't find other things like in the course of like the complaint came up and then they actually started looking at it and were like, oh, they didn't complain about this, but this is the thing we got a problem with right here. Okay.
No, and they only looked into the things that they complained about. And I think another thing that kind of helped me is I didn't try to justify any of my actions. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wasn't there trying to be like, but they did this, and did you look at this? And I know Carrie was doing that shit. She was trying to counterattack.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know if I think that. I think you could defend. I think in the process of things, unless you really are stuck, right? The best thing to do if you are really, really stuck is to absolutely not blame anybody else and to take full accountability. However, if there's a bigger context to it, and like your shit has been manipulated, it's been chopped and screwed and everything, like that is a time to be like, no, this is not true.
Right. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I played a dumb game and I lost. Right. I was playing a stupid ass game and I lost, and I can admit that. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I didn't know that YouTube was quite like how it is. Now I know, though. now I know.
Right.
So, and I know Spotto's still in there saying I can't speak on a discipline that never happened. Lord help me. Lord help me.
Well, I mean, maybe he's talking about Carrie.
They are trolling the hell out of me right now.
Is he talking about Carrie though?
Is he talking about you? No, he's talking about me. He doesn't think that I've been disciplined.
That is hilarious because I thought I was the only one that was putting that out. That you had worked with Anti to get this whole thing up to like troll the sector.
Oh and, like, my God!
I thought I was the only one that put that out there.
Lord Jesus, working with Anti to troll this.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain. He don't like that.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But I'm really calling on him, though. That's the thing.
Okay, well,
it's not
fair.
like I'm taking his Lord, like his name in vain. I'm like,
fair.
Lord Jesus, can you hear this? Can you see this? This is crazy. It's for real. I'm not taking his name in vain.
No, it's just Triggs always calls himself conspiracy Tiggs. I have I think I could I think my conspiracies always make sense, but I think I've got some of the best in the sector, really.
Mm. YM wants to know if I think that the AFW is going to get her credentials revoked. I don't think that's going to be possible.
I don't either. I don't
think that's
either.
Possible. It might be hard for her to get another job if she really did resign, which I think she did. Some of y'all don't. If she did, I think it's going to be hard for her to get another job, but I don't think they're going to get her credentials revoked.
Yeah,
I don't think she's done enough for that.
I don't either. I think that's for sure. I think we can all agree on that because that's a monumental blow. That's like the AFW aren't the only ones. There's a few other people on YouTube who are saying that they're going to get my bar card. It's just sort of a flippant thing you say to a lawyer, like, "Oh, we're going to get you disbarred." I don't think they realize that we've had lawyers delete other people, get disbarred, get out of prison, wait 5 years and get back in. It's not. I mean, this is I think. No, it fell short of the actual deleting. They almost deleted people, right? But there's a process of reinstatement, even if you've done a hard time in TDC. And so there's it's hard to get somebody's actual bar card forever.
Yeah, that's tough. It's difficult. Now, Rev G did come up here and say that they got D Darrell on the ropes. You know what I mean? They got. I know it's not a bar or anything, but it's his license, it's a certification and shit. He said they got him on the ropes. That's why a few months ago, I guess he went silent. Go ahead.
Very, very, and now he's not. So, but it's very hard to get somebody in the behavioral sciences, license revoked unless they are directly doing things to patients that are causing harm, or things that just can't be finished or can't be addressed through discipline, other sorts of discipline, right? I mean, you have to be really mishandling patients and doing things directly to patients, not to people that you don't even know on YouTube. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. I mean, they've also been saying for months that they got Carrie fired, knowing that it wasn't true. So I'll wait and see.
Right. Ask her next time you see her. Ask her next time you see her in a chat or whatever if she resigned. I'm curious to see what she will say to you.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a harsh question. That's a good question. That's not a harsh question.
I'll consider it.
All right, Stephanie. Well, I've overstayed my welcome here on these YouTube streets.
Me too.
I was supposed to be done.
Me too. I haven't been welcome in months, so yeah, I should go. Anyway, brother in Christ, see you in glory, my friend.
All right, sister. All right, peace. That's my sister in Christ right there, Stephanie Collins. Okay. Well, there you have it. Another show in the books. Hey, look, I'm just trying to get my feet wet. I think that's how you say it. I think that's the saying. And there's plenty of content on these YouTube streets, right? But I'm not trying to jump in with the iron all the way up. I'm not trying to jump in just burning up my clothes and shit. I'm slowly starting to come into this thing. My hope of going live like this is that MBK will catch a replay, or MBK will be watching this, or he's in the clouds or whatever, and he sees that I am not really looking to cause too much drama that's going to put a target on his back or my back or anything like that. Now, of course, just speaking is going to put a target on our backs, but at least I'm not intentionally looking to put this huge target on our backs, and maybe he'll consider being a host of the morning show. First, I want to thank Shakim for hitting the panel. Thank you so much. I noticed that my number stabilized when you hit the panel, so thank you for that. I want to thank Rev G for hitting the panel. I appreciate you coming up and sharing your insight on the Umar sector and all the things you got going on and your tracks that you have made. I want to thank Hammer Time, the Hammer Nation, for coming up and expressing some real life shit. Sometimes we miss that real life is happening around us, and congratulations, happy birthday, 59th birthday. That's awesome, and I hope you get everything that you're looking for in this life. I want to thank Stephanie Collins for hitting the panel and having a great back and forth dialogue. because I really like talking to Stephanie. It's always a fun conversation whenever I talk to her. I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. I want to thank my real supporters that aren't wishy-washy, that don't just rock with me because I rock with whoever they think their favorite content creator is. I want to thank my mods for being genuine mods that have a genuine interest in whatever it is I got going on. Whether they agree with me or not, they can voice those things and not have to worry about me unmodding them and things like that. You know, that's why I have the mods that I have, because the mods that I have, they know that I will talk trash about them. They could talk trash about me. They can like my ops. I don't care. I can like their ops. They don't care. So thank you guys for being the best mods in the game on these YouTube streets. And with that being said, I am out. Peace, y'all. Have a good one. Where the hell is my outro? Really? Come on, bro. Come on. You should have had the outro. There we go.
And you can't stop. Yo, a lot of niggas lost they pops to the drug game. Other niggas lost they blocks when the thugs came. They knew how to box, they ain't know about the slug game. Soon as the money get right, that's when the love change. Niggas know who to call when they want raw. Kiss is the cornerstone of the corner store. D-block general, he stay shining. In the back of the van, 2K9 and my dope so strong it's giving fiends the hiccups. Coke so high, got niggas doing stick-ups. Found out another nigga dead, light the piff up. Make sure one is in the head, load the fifth up. Played my hand right, baby, I held aces. Nothing on the scene but blood and shell casings. Nike gloves on the team, they can't trace us. Snitches in the witness protection, getting facelifts. These niggas will never be able to fuck with me. Say my grace before I give them $150. The whole hood with me, they hating, we all spiffy. Everything's a short shot, none iffy.
He said, I let it bang in your body jaw, how you leaking? Skirt up in the cool 50 on the dash, you know that I'm leaving. 100 round jump in the bottom of my gun so I get the squeezing. Don't fuck with my squad, my nigga, come home, we don't do all that beefing. Come to your house on the weekend, put on all black on them creeping. Terror coded, can I see me? So them folk gon' have to free me. I'm a lion that's a rah-rah, them whenever I be eating. In the streets, I be hearing up. Matter of fact, I be at the mall. Got the pulling out them damn blue, yo be feeling love cause I like the ball. Don't get me started, I clear the hall. A nigga used to breaking all the law. Caught the gram, then I caught the ball. Caught the zip, then I copped it all. Say you body better pipe down. Catch you lacking when you out of bound. When I click it back, the bullet bite down. Click it back, the bullet bite down. You a little rat, so you can get raw. I take your cheesy. Your bitch wanna fuck and I got away. The pussy be queefing. Pour on some liquor, I roll some gay. You know she be chiefing. And if I get a pregnant, she take a blame B cause I won't let it keep it.